I'm good whenever.
And welcome to Pumpkin Spice is for Basic Witches. Our sponsor for tonight is Canadian Dice. Go to canadiandice.ca and use the code THEVACTAIR, all one word, at checkout for 15% off your order. Maggie's dice pick of the week is Demon Eye Dice, and actually Maggie is here, so Maggie, you can explain it for him.
You know what demons sometimes have? Eyes. And you know what's spooky? That. So you know what you should get? Them.
Well, I'm sold.
With that in mind, you can also check out our merch store at tinyl.com/vacmerch. You can get excellent designs like Half Orc Energy and the Vac Blob, and there are 2 Spooktober designs that Affy has made on the store right now. Okay, Artemis beat me to it. I had it pre-typed, but I'm busy reading. Spooktober, of course, is we're about halfway through now. It's the 18th, and it's 31 days. Yeah. So we're of course, including this game, we are raising money for Extra Life for Kids. Last year was crazy with a 12-hour, I almost said 12-month, 12-hour long organised chaos stream run by Affy. It was drop in, drop out. We raised about 1,300 last year. I haven't checked to see how we are, and the bloody Twitch mod mode doesn't tell me, so sod that. We're hoping to at least get the 1,300, if not more, this year, and you can find the link in the chat. But for those of you on the podcast, it's tinyl.com/factair extra life 2023. The announcement for the week of scheduling stuff. Tomorrow we're back here with me for season 2 of A Song of Crystal and Shadow at 8:30 EST. Friday you got Affy, Artemis, Maggie, and the crew for fixtures 5 at 8:30. Again here at EST. Saturday morning, Together Among the Stars. It's 11:30 a.m. with Dungeon Daddy Rick. I don't know who the guest is this week, but I'm sure we'll find out. Saturday evening is a makeup for Backpacker's Guide to TTRPGs, doing more spells. That's at 7 p.m. EST. Sunday afternoon, the Forge of Eons, which is the new Critical Role Candela Obscura system. That's being run by Emily at 1 p.m. EST. In the evening on Sunday, you got Affy and Artemis over on DM Jeremy's channel for Legacy of Fire at 7:30 EST. Monday we're back here for Mistwalkers at 8:30 EST. Yeah, look, Maggie is on that one too. Tuesday is Table 9, which is 8:30 EST. That's the 10 candle system with storyteller Ryan from Canadian Dice, who was our sponsor.
Get ready to cry.
Yeah.
Yeah, people die.
And as always, you can find our podcast wherever you download your podcasts from. Boom. There. I didn't actually say the 2-second thing, so yeah. With that in mind, I'm going to hand it over to our keeper for the evening, Queen Mother GM.
Hello. I am Queen Mother GM, and I will be your keeper, the keeper of secrets tonight, as we will be playing Monster of the Week as our system. It is a Powered by the Apocalypse 2d6 system, and the only negative thing I have to say about it is that I don't get to roll any dice as the keeper. It's a sad day. My dice collection weeps in the corner over here.
You'll be fine.
So
just buy more from Canadian Dice. You'll feel better.
You can still roll dice.
It's
They
true.
just won't count.
yes, I should just roll them in the background to make people nervous. I find that's generally a good thing.
It's a
Then we
comforting
figure out your
sound.
dice rolls correspond to things that happen in real life and your dice are haunted. It's not most Canadian dice, as far as I'm aware, are not haunted.
Yes, well, we can ask. Maybe there's a premium subscription I don't know about. So tonight, though, as we have a group of wonderful players who are not very experienced with Monster of the Week, this will be kind of a learn to play. So quick notes to viewers. Monster of the Week is a very much a role play heavy game. My hunters, as the players are referred to, will not ask to roll. They will just tell a story, and I will tell them things, and make it'll be interactive and theater of the mind. And when I tell them that they need to roll something, that is when bad things can happen, because on a 6 or below on 2d6, you fail. On a 7, 8, or 9, you get a mixed success. So you succeed, but with consequences. And 10 and above is a full success. So the players have kind of cheat sheets and character sheets that will tell them what happens on the various rolls. I get to make up lots of things. Don't be precious with your characters. This system is definitely about real people, not heroes and adventurers with magic spells and potions and such. But it's based on a lot of the things that you like. Buffy the Vampire Slayer and wow, I'm having a mind problem. All of the
Supernatural.
X-Files and things like that. So if there was a 90s, early 2000 movie about monsters, sci-fi, something like that, it is very heavily influenced this game, which is kind of really cool. So we will start out with intros, as we have already done our session 0, built our hunters, and talked about how they know each other. That is part of the character creation in this game, is that you have to know each player somehow. You have to have a connection. So I'm going to go to our connection sheet. We have, let's start out with, I think we're going to start out with Roxy. Would Roxy like to introduce themselves?
So, hi, I'm Roxy Alvarez, though other folks call me Redline. I am purely because I am very medically inclined. I'm very professional at that. I work for a group I can't talk too much about in public for various reasons. Definitely governmental bent. If I talk too much, I'm gonna have to probably give you something to make you forget it all. But yeah, you can usually find me with the gear, all the gear we need to keep folks alive. Maybe dissect a few things here and there.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
And you did slip in your playbook type there, but did you want to explicitly say which playbook you have chosen?
Yeah. The playbook I've chosen for Roxy is the Professional.
Yeah. So you are kind of our main hook for this story, as you are the one who reports to higher ups who have alerted you to tonight's adventure. Do you want to pick someone, say how you're connected to them, and then they can introduce themselves, and we can kind of keep going around like that?
Yep. Let's have a look at the sheet real quick. I'm gonna move across to Mr. Richard Shagwell. Roxy knows him. I know him through working with him in the agencies before, and he's pretty well regarded.
Mm-hmm. Please introduce yourself, Mr. Shagwell.
That's Professor Shagwell to you. My name is Richard Shagwell. I'm a professor. I'm the expert. I know everything that you need to know. I'm well acquainted with Redline and her shenanigans. And I also I have some nefarious things in my past. I understand that professor is a hard pill to swallow for a lot of people, so I go by Richard, and unfortunately the Americans like to call me Dick for obvious reasons, mostly their base vulgarity. Yes, I'm here to rid the world of anything that may or may not be ne'er-do-well or evil, and I have this lovely band of cohorts to help me with it, because I myself am not really good at violence. At least physical violence. I can cut you down, right?
And your playbook is the...
Expert, of course.
Perfect.
Was there a question?
No, not at all. Just trying to be quite clear and obvious, you know.
Excellent.
And
Always good to be
how
thorough.
does our expert want to? Who do you know that hasn't been introduced yet, and how do you know them?
Well, I would like to introduce the wonderful lad, TBD.
Mm-hmm.
I am acquainted with him from way back before he was TBD, but I won't go into that very much. TBD, would
Okay.
you like to speak for yourself?
I would. How's it going, everybody? My name is Matt, otherwise known as Grape Ape. This evening, I will be playing TBD, or uncommonly known as Gruss Garfield. He's a 27-year-old young man, unkempt, dirty blonde hair, stoic face, filled with angst. He's very angry and in his feelings. And that's because from early time being a youth, coming along with the 90s supernatural X-Files theme, he's had this ability. He's had these mental powers that he didn't know how to use, that he was scared of. It caused him a lot of pain and a lot of anguish in his life. He was always hearing voices, he couldn't control them. And he struck out, as any youth does, and tried to make sense of them through destruction and pushing people away, and just trying to avoid everything. It eventually got wind to this governmental organization who recruited, kidnapped him, and he kept trying to escape. And he would never give him his name, and he was always trying to fight and buck the system, which is why he started going by TBD, to be detained, because he was always trying to escape to somewhere else and be on his own without any other interior influences affecting him. He is brought along. I'm going to be playing the Spooky, and he is going to be brought along. He's got some mental prowess, a little telepathy. He can kind of sense when monsters are around. And so he's been kind of recruited by the government entities that be, with little microphones, and they speak to him, and they're very greedy, and he tries not to listen, but, it's a whole thing. And he knows Ardent because one of TBD's abilities is to see and commune with recently dead spirits or dead people. I see dead people. And Ardent is not alive.
Hey, I'm Ardent. You could say that I'm not alive, but you could just call it being alive plus. I died many years ago, and I didn't expect to come back. You could say my original playbook was the Initiate, but coming back, I'm the Monstrous. I'm a bit of a ghostly fella, but you wouldn't know that day to day. We'll work at a coffee shop. It's like one of those hoity-toity places. I don't know, I can't eat it, the food. Not because I'm allergic or nothing, it's just it goes right through me, literally. So, I do know these other folks. One who I do know, who unfortunately couldn't make it because he has a shift, where Redline Roxy works too, is Arthur. He thought that I murdered his roommate, which I didn't. There's no proof I did, and I don't remember it. Must have been a pretty busy Tuesday. But yeah, unfortunately, he's stuck at the fish pyramid, so he cannot make it.
Mm-hmm.
Out of character, so Sophia, is there a name for the shop you work at, or do we not decide that?
We knew we said it was a sporting goods store, but we never gave it a name. I don't think.
Fish pyramid it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fish pyramid, which is a very mysterious shape. But we work near each other, so yeah, maybe we'll stop by, clown on him. Who knows?
Spectacular. I love it. Yeah, so unfortunately, we are down one hunter tonight. Just couldn't get that time off. Capitalism sucks. You live in the real world. You need money all that good stuff. So all of you kind of have a day job, or are supported in some way by your hunting, but you still have to do mundane things. Sorry. You can let me know if this adventure takes place on Laundry Day or not. So, yeah, in this game, everyone has a connection to everyone else. Please feel free to mention that or not, but it just helps build these characters. These characters know each other already. So, the introduction is... various files, complaints, and possible red flags cross the desk of the higher-ups all the time. Sometimes they send the expert hunter Roxy Redline Alvarez to investigate, and on occasion they send her with a team. As Halloween approaches and monster hunters everywhere prepare for their busiest time of the year, one file comes across the desk that seems like it may indeed be supernatural and not a hoax or a run-of-the-mill serial killer as the locals' police fear it might be. A series of sudden disappearances in a small town at around the same time every year has sent up alarm bells with local law enforcement. After a possible vision, maybe from TBD, you were sleeping. A normal night. Do you dream often?
I dream all the time, constantly, and I wake up and I just remember tidbits of it. So I'm always trying to grasp whatever it was and struggle to recollect it.
Mm-hmm. And this one, you just remember at one point there was a flash, and you saw a town sign, a name that it just pops up. It's like nice little sign, flowers underneath it, small town sign, and you clearly remember the words Havenville. And at one point, maybe Roxy, you present this file to TBD. And in it, it says that this is taking place in Havenville. Do you ask anything about this?
I've seen this sign before. I've had a dream about this Redline.
Oh, yeah?
What is this place? Where is it? I'm getting a sense. If I remember correctly, the dream was very frightening. It was very disturbing. I can't... It's just bits and pieces. What is this file? What is this place?
It keeps coming across... It keeps raising red flags for the higher-ups, and they're getting tired of it. All I know is it's coming up to bloody All Hallows Eve, and it's getting... how can I put it? It's getting real freaking busy, and they want this dealt with. That's why I'm bringing it to you.
No, you can't divulge too many details. Maybe we can ask the professor. Maybe he knows something about this, but we can't go alone, because the other thing I remember, it was this quaint, picturesque little small town, and it said Havenville on the sign with flowers underneath. But then the sky got dark and gray, pitch dark, and blood started dripping down the sign. Something is seriously going to be wrong here.
I'll make sure I pack some extra bandages in the med kit then, if it's going to start raining blood.
Spectacular. So, do you reach out to Professor, my apologies, Shagwell?
Yeah, I will. Roxy will pull the good professor in on this, because we need an expert, especially with some of the omens we're getting from TBD.
Query.
TBD is only comfortable.
Or do you come to my library?
It's more polite with you to come to your library, I'd say. Also, better cover.
Is it your library, Professor, or just the library you work in?
It's mine.
Okay.
You are the expert.
I'm the only one that actually knows where everything is.
So after a possible vision from TBD, the expert Professor Shagwell is called in and does some deeper research. Should we maybe get the first roll of the night for this? But it's up to you.
I'd rather not. I'm just going to use my normal vast amount of data I've accumulated on the hard drive, and I will attempt to see if I have any cross-references for this community in the past, or if I actually just remember anything in the past.
Sure. Just if you want to take a look at your character sheets too, you have certain resources with each playbook as well. So if you sit down and do some research, you find out that... Yep.
Yeah, I have lore library to help me out.
Mm-hmm. And it's kind of your, like, it's your home base. So you do some research. Maybe there's a little bit of Googling before you dive into some books. Havenville is a small town. We're going to say North America because I'm Canadian. So this is an area that has switched over to the metric system or is in the metric system. We're just going to say, I'm going to use kilometers. I'm sorry. But they have a sheriff. So that's kind of American. So it's just this wonderful little town in North America that it's an old town, one of the first settled. It's one of the ones that was on a railway stop, and saw some prosperity in that. But since the railway system has been kind of defunct, it has been in decline. It's 2021, so a lot of small towns are kind of hit hard by the epidemic. If you were to Google them right now, you'd find that there's a lot of businesses that just aren't open anymore because of that. Small restaurants and things that closed and just couldn't keep going. But there is still a decent population of about 3,000 people, give or take. It's kind of a mixed bag. Lots of farmers. It's very rural. And it is old. It is an old town. You do pick that up in your research, that it is a very old town. Goes back hundreds of years.
It goes back far enough that it was, like, it predates any real reason for it to be there? Sort of old?
No, it was kind of, it was on, like, a path that settlers and stuff would take, and then eventually was on a railway line as well. So it goes back hundreds of years. Not anything prehistoric. There's no pre-colonial history special about it or something like that. The name of it has changed more than once. Havenville is its most recent name. At other places it was called named like George Stop or something. You can go into the history of the founders and stuff like that. But your takeaway is basically it's an old town, hundreds of years old. Havenville, it's been called for more than 100 years. And basically there's been people there for a very long time.
And I've found nothing whatsoever that is out of the ordinary for a town of that size.
For a town of that size, there is some old history. There's lots of stuff about, like, during the Dust Bowl, how the Depression hit it. Some local stuff about initiatives for vegetable growing, or when the railways stop there closed, how hard that hit the town and how they petitioned to keep it going, but were unable to. You do find that you do correlate in the history stuff the disappearances, some of them that are also on the file. So the first disappearance that happened, it wasn't seen as really a disappearance, as the first person that was reported having disappeared was a notable UFO expert and right-wing pundit, and who had like a really small radio podcast talk show, Erica Crypt, and they disappeared 7 years ago because they thought that there was crop circles in the area. They're the first disappearance that you can correlate with this town. Yeah, so there was a little bit of a splash in like the super underground, the very like conspiracy theories that maybe this was alien abduction. Since then, there's been different people disappearing. Not all of them are able to say that they were definitely in this area, but in this general area they believed to be. The last person that saw them was someone at the gas station. There was someone else who stopped at the local diner and ate, and then left and wasn't seen since. It's kind of a place that people stop when they're taking like the back roads and on long road trips. Still, it is still if you want to miss the major highways and stuff and such, it's a very scenic, nice area, especially in the fall. The trees turn a beautiful color. Last year, the last person last year that disappeared was Fabio Grios, retired school teacher, and disappeared while sightseeing. Yeah.
All right. Redline. Does
Yeah.
your information mention any of these missing people that I have located or discovered in my search here?
I and Roxy would look through the files, and she nods. Yes, actually, yeah. A couple of these names are in the file. They're mentioned very specifically. Especially Erica was like the first one. We got first and last, right there.
Excellent. Well, we at least have something to go on. It's not just complete dosh. All right. Before we go, I believe I have to go get a spot of tea and get a hold of Ardent. I believe we might need their particular talents as well.
Works for me because I've got to keep them close right now.
Well, we're right close to the coffee shop anyway.
I meant the other kind of close, Professor, but
Oh,
the
very
work,
well.
the work kind of close. But yes, your point is
My
taken.
apologies.
No, your point's taken. The coffee
It was
shop.
proximity I was thinking about mainly. All right.
TBD, are you
TBD.
there at the same time too?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to be going where Redline goes as the team leader.
You're going into a coffee shop.
I need some coffee. I need probably a lot of coffee.
The coffee shop that you go into, I imagine it's very like well decorated. Everything is like clean, like you could tell the windows were and door was just freshly done, despite there not being a lot of foot traffic like usual. There still seems to be maybe like Ardent there, and you can assume that if he does have another coworker there, they're in the back. Arden isn't known for socializing a ton at his job. So he's just there to get things done, and he's very meticulous about it. You can probably assume Arden was the one who just washed the window and door. He looks up from under his lashes and goes, I thought I cut you off, TBD. No more today.
We've got something going on. One that we're going to need your help with, but I'm going to need a 4-shot espresso.
Is that what you need my help with, getting espresso? Because
No, we have other things. We might have use of your particular brand of behavioral traits.
And just out of character, I don't drink coffee, so I don't know what to order.
No, that'll do it.
Me whatever.
You will never sleep again with that kind of thing.
I feel like
that's a good one.
Doesn't sleep due to the
4 shots of espresso.
Arden,
Come on.
making the espresso.
I've been having these dreams again. You know, I keep coming in here. I can't shake this one. I saw something.
I don't know. I'm not the medical professional that's redline there, but have you ever considered you're having nightmares from drinking too much coffee? I don't know.
I've considered that the government's in my head. That's why I'm having nightmares.
They're not in the coffee? Hope not, at least.
No.
All told, from what
Coffee
I've been
keeps
able to
everything
determine,
calm.
the coffee might actually be help. His particular brand, there's some little ADHD crossover with his particular powers. So caffeine actually does seem to levelize him somewhat, as much as is possible.
Okay,
Oh.
well,
Do you have
I
any
got,
protein?
5 more minutes. Why don't you clue me in?
Get some TB. Get TBD some protein as well, if you happen to have any. As far as food is concerned, anything with nuts or eggs, mayhaps.
I look at the case and then I look at the clock. What time? Oh, what time of day is it?
Yes.
Yeah, it could be any time of day. What time of day, Roxy?
I'm gonna say late afternoon. Oh, damn it.
Yeah. So the cafe's gonna close soon, and Ardent knows that, like, if they don't take the pastries before it closes, then the pastries are gonna get thrown out, even though that they could be used for other uses, like composting or feeding people. So Ardent just, like, takes out, like, some of those, like, pecan rolls and starts putting them in a to-go box. Anybody else want anything? Last call.
Tea, please. Of course.
And I bring out like one of those wooden boxes that have like all the
Excellent.
individual tea satchels, and these are like nice teas. They're not loose leaf, but they are like nice back teas.
Oh, I trust you at this point. By all means.
Yeah, I am a tea sommelier, aka look up all the flavors because again I can't eat or drink.
Excellent. Well, I've been here before. You just choose something. We have a long trip ahead of us.
Anything for you, Roxy? You don't want this to be your last regret besides all the other ones.
Hit me with a caramel macchiato and make it a large one, please. Iced.
Got it. One. Okay. So
I'll have one of those too.
my help on Donna. Like, is it something that I'm gonna need to go home and change for? Because I don't want to get blood on my uniform.
Probably.
You know, does your like organization do they offer like dry cleaning as a benefit?
There's a lot of red tape attached to it if you want that perk. Trust me, I know.
Roxy, you know that more likely anything that was contaminated during a hunt would most likely be incinerated and not replaced. Budget cuts.
Yeah, Roxy is kind of lying a little bit about the perk thing. She doesn't want to scare Ardent with the whole burning clothes thing. Or possibly studying them in some cases.
So, we gonna like, can we walk there? Are we driving separately? Like, if not, I'll pay for gas. I'll help out.
I mean, I've got the
But-
van.
That good. Oh, you're muted, Dick.
That's good, because my bicycle just will only hold two of us and not well.
So, you have a van, as you are the professional. You have, you know that the town is, it's a solid like 2.5 hours away, give or take. Google Maps is telling you it's 2.5, but Roxy, do you abide by all speed limits at all times?
Not all the time. I might have to, use the words special ops or something along those lines if the police get a little too curious as to why I'm speeding. But also, it's quite clearly like a tricked out old ambulance looking vehicle. So I hope that if they see me speeding, it's usually because I'm trying to go deal with someone who's hurting.
Okay. So, you all head into your car, and we're gonna do some Sirenscape for our sound sets tonight. The car is started. You all kind of pile in and make yourself comfortable.
I believe the term is shotgun.
Yes, you can have the front. I'll sit in the back with TBD. Just like watch the bumps this time. gonna fucking fly out of the top.
No promises.
Because Arctic can go intangible. So
we will have to make a stop to get a change of clothes for Auden, though.
no, it's fine. I'll wash it. It was a joke, but
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed the email. I
it
knew
was
that.
maybe 'twas but a ruse.
So with the last hunter of the team now, the unorthodox but ardent, who's only partially monstrous, you are you might come in handy since you deal with your own kind in your off hours when you're not working. The team heads to Havenville, a sleepy little rural town who may be the center of an unnatural activity or inhuman forces. So as you are driving along, Google mapping it, or however, it's 2021. I don't know if anyone's still using MapQuest.
I believe I actually have a tangible map, and I'm going to pull out a road map.
Oh my god.
I'm ignoring the Google thing and I'm looking at my map.
Perfect. So you head out. TBD, you're sitting in the back, but this tricked out kind of ambulance you're able to see out the front. And sure enough, as a couple of hours and a bit go by, you do indeed see the exact same sign that you saw in your dream. It's late autumn. The flowers in front of it are like mums and autumn flowers. It's October, actually, so the leaves are changing color. There's a chill in the air. There's a few clouds overhead, and you know it'll get dark earlier tonight. But it's not Halloween yet. You're just in the middle of October. You drive into town, and you see that in the town...
Before we drive into town, as we're coming up, I'm getting a growing sense of unease. And as soon as we come up to the sign and see it, I'm going to grab Redline's seat and kind of pull it back a little bit. Stop!
And Redline is going to hit the tank brakes.
Hey! Stop that.
Sorry, Professor. Can we pull over by the sign? For a second, I want to see if I get a sense of anything.
Redline's got to look in the mirror and start reversing because they went a bit past it with how fast she was going. Stopping distances are a thing after all. But she will reverse. She's going to reverse and pull up near the sign.
Okay.
Do you want to join me and see if you can sense anything? I'm going to go up. DVD goes up and puts a hand on the sign, closing his eyes, trying to see if he can get any imagery from the dream that he experienced before.
Okay, this sounds like I'm going to need a roll for this as you are attempting to use magic.
And the professor is going to get out and take pictures with an old digital camera.
I'm attempting to use the sight, seeing if there's any spiritual or magical influences around this area.
Besides me, who is also helping.
Besides you.
Okay, so are you attempting to aid, to help out?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you use magic, which is anything, telekinesis, actual magic potions, any of this falls underneath use magic. You're going to roll plus your weird score. So roll 2d6 plus your weird, which should be clickable on your sheet. And if you are helping out, when you help out another hunter, you roll plus cool. So whatever your cool is. And then you, so first we're going to get TBD's roll.
I rolled the sight. I guess I have an ability called the sight. Do you want me to roll that or roll weird?
No, so you have the sight. You can see invisible, especially spirits and magical influences. You may communicate with, even if, and maybe even make a deal with spirits you see, and they can give you more opportunities to spot clues when you investigate a mystery. So if that is applicable, I will let you know. You rolled a 7 though, so you got a mixed success as you're touching this sign and using your sight. Are we gonna tell me how you help out here? Like roll for it and tell me what you do.
Okay. Did it roll?
I don't see anything. There, a little bonus
No.
box comes up, so there's probably a bonus box hiding somewhere.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Oh no, failure.
No.
So on a failure for helping out, you do not indeed help out. So in fact, you actually make it worse. So please tell me. I will tell you, TBD. You're going up and you're touching this sign. Do your eyes roll in the back of your head? Do you close your eyes? Do you breathe a certain way?
I've got my eyes kind of closed, and I'm trying to recollect the dream and recreate the imagery in my head. So I'm not in any kind of translate state or anything like that. It's really trying to focus in on this image.
Okay. So you are focusing on this image. You're trying to remember your dream, and it is slowly starting to come back to you. You see night. You see a moon, and there's clouds passing over it. You see a farm. You see someone in uniform. You hear a scream. There's definitely like you see corn moving. And then the sign like kind of flickers in and out, the Havenville sign. And then suddenly there is just this like face right up, like it's like you can feel it like pressing on your mind. And suddenly they just like wide white eyes and this open mouth decaying face, and they just scream at you like "Ah!" And it pulls you out of the dream or out of the recollection. Please tell me how Ardent fails to help.
So we kind of like braked and reversed pretty fast. So I get out of the car. I go over to help, but like my equilibrium's a bit off. You know, ghost equilibrium's even more fucky. 'Cause I'm
Yes,
falling.
I agree.
Like,
I can confirm that. Yes.
I assume I'm just full of ectoplasm or whatever. So I walk over. I accidentally like trip a little and like push on you a little bit into the sign accidentally, to not like slamming you in, but like catching myself on your shoulder. How tall are you?
I'm probably 5'10".
Okay, Arden's very tall.
Average
Arden's
height.
6'3". So they kind of like catch themselves on your shoulder, like.
And as you
that psychic
them,
energy,
yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as you
that
catch,
psychic interrupting my train of thought. I'm like, I had it. I saw a face, and then your psychic energy just kind of interrupts whatever I had going on.
Sorry.
if you turn to face Ardent, you for the first couple moments as you look at Ardent, the face that you saw is superimposed on Ardent, and this face says sorry and like talks, and Ardent's eyes are white and milky, and cheeks are sunken and hollow, and it's very, very disconcerting, I assume.
And so I stumble backwards into the sign, and I'm like, red line, red line.
And at that, Redline is going to hop out of the van.
Good gracious!
Run over, but she's going to have her. She's going to have a 9mm drawn because of the yelling.
Hey!
Excuse me, children. We're all on the same side here. Let's calm down. TBD, you know, do your breathing. Right, think about the puppy. Remember the puppy.
Yes, sir.
All right, everyone good? All right.
Yeah, I just tripped. It was a workplace incident. I don't know, Redline. You can file it. Everything's fine.
I saw.
What did you see?
When Arden touched me and I turned around, I saw the face, a decaying, screaming face.
Is it still there?
No, it's. I can see Ardent now, but when I touched the sign, I saw someone in a uniform. I couldn't tell if it was a police officer or a nurse. Some kind of uniform, though. And
Do you think you would recognize it if you saw it again?
maybe it's very fleeting. It's like the dream. It keeps coming in and out. It's right there on the edge of my memory, Professor. And I saw corn. Fields of corn waving
Has to
back
be expected.
and forth.
Just look.
I know, we've been seeing corn the entire way.
I will take the back seat with TBD, and we will go over some pictures on my laptop, which takes up like 3/4 of my bag and probably weighs as much as a small child. But because it's not new.
It fully has like a 1 hour battery life at best.
About that, yeah. I turn it on sparingly.
Yeah, and it has the interchangeable floppy disk and CD drive.
Excellent. I happen to have pictures of all the most common uniforms as worn in this region. I put that on before we left.
Okay.
So we're gonna flip through pictures of uniforms while we drive closer to town. Put the firearm away there, Redline. I believe it's all right now.
Roxy puts the pistol in a concealed holster because that's where she usually keeps that gun. It's all right.
I like the way it just kind of vanishes. It's so nice.
Yeah, it does that.
Oh no, keep going.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, I'm just going to sit in the back with TBD. We're going to go over pictures, and I'm going to try to make sure he doesn't. I have granola clusters in my satchel that TBD likes, so because I've hung out with this kid before.
Bring any coffee in your flask?
No, sorry, I never touched the stuff.
I cut you off. I made an exception. You know what? Hey, do you mind if I play with the radio for a second? Do you have aux in this? Bluetooth?
So
I'm gonna check the van real quick because I want to see if there's something specific.
I think we can head to town now.
Okay.
Arden puts on like some sort of like imagine in your mindscape, like some sort of like rock music intro that we don't have the rights to as we drive in and the title plays across the screen. And the credits roll over the cornfield and it zooms in into us on the drive.
Should I be upset if you don't actually just put corn on?
I could put corn on. I don't know if Arden like has the music sophistication to enjoy corn. They grew up in like when you just like wiggled your finger around. But maybe it's the radio. It's like, well, this station works. You need music for a fashion show. You need to set the ambiance, and this ambiance is kind of terrifying. I changed my accent. I just realized it's okay. I'll fix it.
So you go and put the radio on, and unsurprisingly, there's only one station that you can pick up right now, and it is a country station. Yeah. So you pull into town, country playing on the radio, and you've passed the sign. You can just see it. You know, it's right around like kind of the supper time. The sun's not setting yet, but the shadows are getting long. You pull in, and as you're pulling into this town, there's not much to it. There's only like a few intersections. It's this population, pretty small. There's one gas station that you see. You see there's a diner that's still open. You would know that there is a sheriff's office in town. That's what the notices and such had come through. You see a convenience store. There's a grocer, and there's a small hardware store, and there's a bar. Yep.
Did we locate the correct uniform on the little ride in?
Yeah. As you're going in, you're kind of looking at all of it. TBD, what you saw someone in a uniform. You could tell. You saw them from the back. You saw like a crisp button-up shirt. You saw a pair of tailored pants. You saw a utility belt. It was kind of backlit. It was hard to tell. You're thinking maybe some sort of law enforcement, maybe security, something like that. They had a flashlight in hand. You remember that?
Professor, can you show me the picture of Erica again? The first person that disappeared?
No, absolutely.
Does Erica look like the face that I saw?
I kind of want. Do I need to make you roll for this one? No,
Damn,
I'm not
you're
gonna say.
doing so
I'm not
well.
gonna make you roll. It's you don't think so. Your recollection of the face is like one of just like moments of terror. The mouth was open. It seemed like they were screaming at you. Sunken cheeks and white eyes. And there was just, you got as much a sense of like rage and anger as you did like actually tell the expression on the face. The picture that the professor has of Erica, the UFO expert that went missing 7 years ago, is kind of like the biopic. So it's a nice like posed photo, young woman, smiling, you know, a nice kind of semi-professional shirt. There's a few pictures maybe you'd have of her, like, you know, from Facebook and such. They don't seem to correlate.
Oh, that's not her, Professor. The face I saw.
Well, that's a good thing. That's nice. We that's not the evil thing we're after. Check that off the list. Not evil, just wackadoodle. Got it.
That'll be our slogan. Can you get them
Yes.
like printed on like, I don't know, a jersey where you work?
Yeah, I'll make us some cards. I guess we're excuse me, out of character to use a other trope. Let's go to the tavern, i.e., the mom and pop diner.
Sure.
TBD probably needs some protein by now, and definitely some more coffee.
He does not need more coffee. You don't know how much of coffee he's drank.
He's getting jittery again. He needs some more.
Maybe he's jittery because he's drinking too much coffee. I don't know. It's not like it causes the jitters.
No, reverse it. I've explained this to you already, dear.
I think what the professor is trying to explain is that the come down from being addicted to coffee is probably going to be worse than just maintaining the addiction, shall we say, at this point. We basically we don't want TBD going fucking cold turkey right now.
Oh, hell no. That just sounds horrible. That's a good way for someone to be badly hurt, we shall say.
I mean, yeah, maybe later then. I don't know. But just be careful, you know? You're a good guy.
Thanks, Hard.
All right. So, we are here.
Sure.
And
So
we go
you
in
pull.
not looking at all out of place in a small rural town.
So you come to the small diner, and it's called the Best Moments Diner. It's a quaint little one. There's a painted sign out front. The windows have little like gingham curtains in them. Inside, you see the old style booths and tables that are, you know, kind of like built into the wall. And then there's a few freestanding tables as well. There's a few people in here eating. There's also a counter with stools that you can sit right up at them. There's a couple of people in there as well. You see two servers, and you definitely hear at least one cook in the kitchen. It's got one of those old style like open windows for serving things. A couple of pots of coffee are on. There's a display case of pies and other desserts. Where do you want to sit?
This is a wonderful slice of Americana. I take some pictures of the building and the layout. Don't know when I might have to come back for that. Well, a booth, of course. Isn't that how it's done?
Sure.
I scooch my butt into the back end of the booth and pull out my laptop and connect my phone to it with an old beat up cord.
I'm gonna sit at the counter, the front counter, as close to the coffee as I can, trying to hopefully keep my body between Arden's view and the coffee, so I can keep getting refills without Arden seeing.
This server comes up to you and hands out the like plastic coated menus. They have like a little
Great.
like black server apron on, and notepad and paper, and they're like, "Hi, welcome to Best Moments. Can I get you started with some drinks?
Tea.
Coffee, please.
Tea, coffee, okay. And for you,
Water.
water, okay. Does everyone want water at the table?
No. No,
No?
thank
Okay.
you, dear.
Do you have Pepsi? Do you have do you have soft drink A or soft drink B or soft drink C?
Yeah. Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
And what do you recommend other than perhaps a different restaurant?
Yeah. Good luck with that. It's the only one in town. But yeah. Tonight's special, we have chicken noodle soup and broccoli cheddar are the 2 soups of the day. The specials we have is pan-seared fish. Your choice aside. And then we also have the meatloaf.
Do you serve breakfast all day? Because I would love some corned beef hash.
Yeah, I could probably swing that. Like, basically the cook will do anything if you pay.
Professor's gonna pay.
Indeed.
All right, corned beef hash, perfect.
I'll go with the meatloaf with a side of corn and some mashed potatoes.
Perfect. Okay.
I will have the soup of chicken and the loaf of meat, please.
All right. And did you want the soup as a side, or did you want that as an appetizer?
However you think is the best.
Okay. Did you want potatoes and veg as well, or no?
Again, I will leave it up to your expertise, milady.
Okay. I'm gonna say you're hungry, and I'm gonna give it I'll bring it as an appetizer and the rest of the sides.
Very well, thank you. I can go
Perfect.
back to
All
my
right.
computer and try to download all the pictures I just took.
And then they turn to Ardent, and they're like, "And you?"
Toast.
Okay.
Oh,
Buttered?
they don't eat very much. It's a religious observation, so don't worry too much.
Oh, okay.
Oh. And you kind of see them think for a moment, and they're like, "What time of year is it? What religion could it be?" And they're like, "Okay, all right, I'll be right back with those. Let me know if I can get you anything else."
You're welcome.
Is there as diners usually have? Is there a newspaper around?
Yeah, so by the door, there's kind of an area where there's some newspapers and flyers and brochures and such. You see a newspaper that's been kind of discarded there, probably from this morning.
I'm gonna grab the local newspaper and look at the articles, the obituaries, if there's anything obvious.
Mm-hmm. So while you're flipping through that, is anyone doing anything else?
Roxy, what are we precisely here for?
We're
I understand it's something woo-woo and weird, or we would not be here. I didn't want to press too far until we get closer to the quarry.
we're investigating some of these weird occurrences regarding some of these disappearances, starting with Erica and working their way through to the most recent ones. Something to do at least in Erica's case, it was something to do with crop circles, and they thought it was, UFO, ET, that kind of shite. But it keeps happening, and I think it keeps happening on a regular schedule, which is sounding all the alarm bells with the big bosses. So
Yeah,
they want it dealt with.
I see how that would.
But they've given us basically as much as they're willing to give us, because you know how they are.
Yeah, I do indeed. Is there anybody else in this restaurant other than the cook in the back and the waitress?
Yep, there's a few tables taken up by people. There's an older couple that they're having their meals. They look like they're almost done. They're sharing a piece of pie at a table. They're kind of in their 70s, maybe. Probably married. One would maybe guess the way that they're, sitting beside each other and sharing the pie together. You see there's a couple of teenagers, or 3 teenagers in another booth. Mostly they're just having like some pop or soda, whichever you prefer. And then like they're sharing a basket of fries and onion rings. And you see at the booth there's a couple of people, and one of them appears to be an individual in a uniform. You see that there is someone from law enforcement. A woman is sitting there in their uniform, utility belt on, just sitting there drinking some coffee and having a salad.
Oh, excellent. I'm going to go talk to her. Let me out.
You just walk up to this lady?
Yep, and I'm going to Hello. I'm Professor Shagwell.
Hi.
And you are?
And they shake your hand and they're like, "Oh, hi. Yeah, no, sorry, I'm Sheriff Gunderson, Molly Gunderson. Nice to meet you."
Greetings, Sheriff. This seems like a nice little community. Anything to do?
What kind of things interest you, Professor? What are you a professor of?
I'm a professor of astrophysics, and I'm actually curious about some of the unusual sightings in the sky around here. I'm not buying into the ufology, but it may be something to do along a natural bent, mayhaps an unusual angle of the night sky.
She takes her drink, and when you said like astrophysics and you're interested in the sightings, you kind of see her like eyes roll. But then you said you weren't interested in the UFOs, and she kind of gives you a bit of a side look, and she's like,
No,
you don't
pish
say.
and tush. No, yeah. The university I work at, they're quite curious as to whether or not ufology as a whole could be something more akin to either a delusion or astrophysics. How do I put this? Astrophysics phenomena that we are not used to seeing yet. Mayhaps there is something unusual in how the sky actually presents to some people. The brain's also a good mystery.
Yeah. Well, if you ask me, people can make themselves believe and do just about anything. So I'm assuming anything about UFOs is because people have tricked themselves into it. The brain can't be trusted.
100% agree. I actually have an acquaintance back at who thinks they're a spirit. It's completely bonkers. So you're telling me that there's no one who actually has seen more than others? I understand someone was here on that bent many years ago and have vanished?
And they put down their coffee and they're like, "You're not lying to me. You're not some podcast, uncredited, I'm a doctor from an online university or something, right?"
What's a podcast?
Blink, blink.
Seriously, what's a podcast?
I think I'm going to need you to roll to manipulate the sheriff into telling you something.
All right, so what do I need to roll here? I got to find them.
TBD, do you want to tell me what you were doing while this was all happening from behind the newspaper?
I am looking at the newspaper, and I do not like law enforcement, so I will not be talking to the officer. As a matter of fact, as soon as I see the professor go over there, I roll my eyes, and I'm looking behind the newspaper. But as I hear the professor questioning, I'm peeking over the paper like this, just seeing what's going on, and trying to see her expressions when they react to the professor's questions. And if just at this sense right here that they're kind of being defensive a little bit and trying to redirect their conversation. So at that point, if the professor makes them a little bit more uncomfortable or they're trying to hide something, I'm going to try to use my telepathy to read their mind.
All right.
See what they're thinking. I'm not going to pull it out yet.
Apparently my character is not charming at all.
So yes, unfortunately, when you try to manipulate someone, you failed. So on a normal person, you did not succeed. So she is very skeptical of you, and she kind of like sits back on the stool a little bit, eyes you, and then kind of eyes the booth that you came from. And is like, so is this your who's this team? Is this your team of graduate students or something?
Yes, we have the female over there in looking very strict and a little internalized. Technology based. I don't know much about it. The one at the table here does a lot of legwork, and the other one is a wealth of knowledge about just people.
You don't say. And
I do.
Molly will stand up, and she's gonna walk over to the booth and be like, "Hi, I hear you all are new in town. I'm Sheriff Gunderson. Nice to meet you. You are?
Oh,
Sorry.
nice to meet you too. I would shake your hand, but you know how things are right now.
Yes, yes. You know, people aren't wearing masks. Like you're not currently in a lockdown. The first couple rounds of vaccines have come out, so like the world is kind of opening up again. But yeah, it's not. The places aren't super busy, and yeah, shaking hands is still kind of awkward.
Also, Arden's very dead, so he does not want to shake hands.
Oh yeah, no, I was picking up on that, but yeah, it's 2021. It's perfect.
Yeah. Okay. So Arden, he says, "I'm Arden. Nice to meet you."
Mm-hmm.
He kind of like politely gives like a smile. And Arden's
And they
pretty
nod.
charming. He kind of has like that supernatural pull to him, you could say. Also, he was raised by a politician and actress, so that could also be it. Those are his parents, so.
So you pull into some of your family kind of nature there.
Yeah, just like very much, giving polite smiles, looking her in the eye, making her, feel seen but not uncomfortable with his gaze. He says, "So you're the sheriff around here? I noticed you got a badge."
Yeah, I'm Sheriff Gunderson. And at this time, the sheriff is looking Roxy, and kind of eyeing up Roxy, who I'm assuming, like, kind of like well trained to well trained, can kind of eye each other up.
Yeah, I'd say so. She kind of gives that confident, slightly cocky kind of upwards nod and says, I'm Roxy Alvarez. I'm one of the professor's doctoral students. Specialize in medicine, honestly, just because it kind of complements what he works on.
And they cross their arms and they're like, "Medicine, eh?
Mm-hmm.
So you're going through to be an MD?"
Yeah, just starting out kind of the more praxis side of medical school before they let me loose on the population at large.
Mm-hmm. Interesting for a medical student to be with a astrophysicist. And as she says this, she's like leaning over and she's like pulling down the newspaper in front of the last individual. And she kind of leans in and she's like, "And who's the shy one here?"
I'm hoping, like I'm just sitting in the newspaper at the counter, so I didn't sit in the booth with them.
Oh, you
And
didn't? Okay.
I'm thanking.
No.
I'm so thankful that I'm sitting at the counter right now because I wanted to sit as close to the coffee as I could, and so I'm just deep in the newspaper, and I'm also thankful that the professor didn't mention my name. So I've just got the newspaper, and I'm like, "Can I get a refill, please?" And I'm like slamming coffee, hoping that the officer doesn't look my way.
I just pointed at you before and said you were general labor.
Did point at me. All right.
Sorry.
So as
Then
the server tops up your cup for like the third time, steaming hot coffee out of that like cafe kind of carafe, the sheriff kind of looks at you and is kind of like, mm-hmm.
I'm just here.
And you are?
I'm just here to drink some coffee.
Mm.
Is this official? Is this an official line of questioning?
No, this is just small town sheriff getting to know who's passing through her town. Because I'm hoping that's what's going on. You just passing through, right?
I'm just here for coffee. I wanted to read the paper. I'm not bothering anybody. TBD is traumatized from his youth of being always, harassed and chased and accosted and detained, and so he is very uncomfortable.
Ardent pipes up, and he says, "Oh, by the way, I forgot. Thank you for your service. How long have you been working here? Sorry about my friend. He's a little shy. Sometimes the world ain't kind, but we got people who try to make it kinder."
And you say thank you for your service. She kind of turns and looks at you, and she's like, "You mean as a sheriff, or you knew I was a veteran?"
No, I meant that you're a sheriff, but you're a veteran too?
Yes. Okay. Listen, and she kind of waves her hands. This is a small town. I've been the sheriff here for years. We don't want any trouble. I don't know if you're here because of that eccentric, and you can tell she wanted to use a very different word, eccentric UFO individual. I know it's coming up on the 7th year anniversary or whatever, and conspiracy theorists in 7 years, and I don't care. I don't care what the hubbub, whatever. They went missing. We investigated. We never found hide nor hair of them. For all I know, they went off to Las Vegas and eloped and changed their name. I hope.
It's at this
I honestly
point
hope that's
right
the case.
here. It's at this point right here when she's talking about it that I would like to try to read her thoughts.
Absolutely. You were definitely going to have to roll for that, though.
Okay, let me put the ability up there. And
Telepathy,
this
you
one
can
doesn't
read?
have dice. It doesn't have dice associated with it, so I'm rolling weird.
So it says it allows you to investigate a mystery or read a bad situation without needing to actually talk. So would you like to investigate a mystery or read a bad situation? Read a bad situation is usually like when there's danger.
I would like to investigate a mystery.
Yeah, that would be my suggestion. So investigate a mystery away. You roll moves as normal, except people will not expect the weirdness of your mental communication.
What do you want me to roll?
Yeah, investigate a mystery. So investigate a mystery is sharp. Sharp plus roll. 6.
Oh, close. Now, you said we had a piece of luck, right? What does that do?
Yes. So, because this is a one-shot, you each get 1 luck point. If anyone in the channel wants to redeem their points, you can give a character an extra luck point. You're going to get 1 luck point for the whole game. Normally, if this was a campaign, you would have 7 points of luck. Once that is done, your character is doomed, and my job as the GM in the campaign is to kill them off as spectacularly as possible. However, tonight, because you're getting 1 luck point, I will not doom you, but you use it and you lose it. So a luck point, you can either reduce harm, which is not applicable in this situation, or you can turn your roll into a 12, which is a full success. 10, 11, 12 is a full success in this. We do not have advanced moves because these characters are just doing a one-shot and this is their first hunt together. So you would get an automatic 10, automatic success. So in an investigate a mystery, that means that on a 10 plus, you get hold 2, which means you can ask 2 questions. And there is a sample list of questions, but you can ask a different one if something is not applicable on that particular list. And you get 2 of them.
Hey, I am going to use my luck chat, so I am going to be out of a luck point. If you deem me worthy of having another one, I would appreciate it. But I'm going to use my luck to make this a 10. And where can I find the questions that I can ask?
Yeah, they're on the hunter reference sheet, but examples are what happened here, what sort of creature is it, what can it do, what can hurt it, where did it go, what was it going to do, what is being concealed here.
I'm going to ask what is being concealed here as the first question.
Okay. So as she's talking about how she hopes that this individual has run away to Las Vegas, eloped and changed their name and just fallen off the grid, you use your telepathy and you kind of push past them mentally. You can feel like yourself kind of like slipping between their mental barriers, and you can hear their back thoughts. And the back thoughts that you hear is the like, they don't think that this individual's alive. They have no idea what happened, but someone doesn't just disappear off the face of the earth for 7 years who liked fame the way that this podcaster supposedly did. They were too into their conspiracies and podcasts and like being notable to have just disappeared off the face of the earth. They're worried that maybe it was more than an accident, because I think if it was an accident that they would have discovered them by then. But they're not entirely sure that this individual even disappeared here. But this was the last place it was, and they are concerned about you being somehow attached to this conspiracy. This individual does not want this town to turn into a media circus.
So, because from that information, I don't believe they might be able to answer any of my other questions, could I ask instead to implant a thought instead of extract a thought? And this is totally, I'm totally going off the books here, but can I implant a thought in the sheriff's head that we are just passing through and unremarkable, and, hopefully they'll forget about us as soon as they walk out the door, or that we walk out the door?
I will allow that because you were using your telepathy, and it specifically says that you can also use it to manipulate someone. So you put this thought in that you're harmless and going to be gone soon, basically, correct?
Yes.
So you see her talking about the UFO, and you get this idea that, like, she's sure that this individual is dead. But the sheriff does not know how it happened. And then you kind of see them sigh, and they're like, listen, do whatever little podcasty research conspiracy thing that you're going to do, and then move on and enjoy the coffee. She looks specifically at you. It's good coffee. She looks to the rest of you and is like, good luck with your medical degree and your astrophysicists and your whatever it was that you do. They look at Ardent again. And they're like, and I hope you have a safe trip home. And
have a good day. I'll be out of here.
And then pulls out a wallet, grabs some cash, sets it beside her half-eaten salad and coffee, kind of waves to the server that they're leaving, and kind of walks out and doesn't kind of give you a second look.
And just while we're at it, Emily gave us all a luck point each.
Oh shit. Thank you, Emily, even though you made us lose the game too. I appreciate it.
Don't mention that. Now we've all lost the game
She
again.
did it. She did it.
Awesome. So, as the sheriff walks out, the server comes up with all your meals and kind of sets them down in front of you. The plates kind of like clink, and they're surveying the drink situation, seeing if you need to be filled back up. And looking around, you realize that, like, when the sheriff was standing up and talking to all of you, everyone was looking at you. You kind of see some, like, the teenagers over in the corner on their phones. They're just kind of like, and they're like snickering a little bit. The older couple is like getting up to leave, but they're like literally just, they were like standing there watching. And then they shamble off shortly after the sheriff. Your server comes over and serves you, and then she kind of, are you guys really here with a podcast?
Professor's
I get up from the
famous.
counter and head back to the booth because I just stayed there with my hands on my head because that went so fast.
I mean, why are you asking? Arden kind of leans in.
Well, because like
He runs a podcast called Only Murders in the Mountain.
That is a great show that you are talking about there.
I love that show.
Check that out.
all right. Well, I mean, like, whatever. This town is boring as all get out, and but I got a family, so I'm stuck here. But I would be over the moon if like this town turned into like a place for like tourists and stuff. So I'm gonna like, because you city people tip so much better, but I'm gonna tell you, and I'm not making this up. Or you should go talk to Vanessa. Not Gunderson, sorry. Vanessa also with a G, because I decided that I really wanted to mix up my names tonight.
Vanessa, wait, her name's
Guzman.
Vanessa.
Guden?
Vanessa Guzman. Yeah.
Guzman.
Now, you can, I don't know, she might tell you, maybe she won't even talk to you, because, like, you're not from around here, but she was going around telling people that she saw something on her dad's farm, and nobody believes her, because, like, what is it, like little gray man? I don't know. But, so she doesn't come into town much anymore, and she doesn't really talk about it anymore, because nobody believed her. But she swears up and down that she saw something. And most of the town just thinks, because she, like, was away at school, and then she came back for reading week, and then she apparently saw something, and now hasn't gone back to school. So, people think that she's, like, or, popping the pills or something. But, yeah. I mean, whatever. Go talk to her, but I mean, yeah. If you can, like, do anything to make this town less boring and bring more people in, that would be spectacular. Also, don't tell her I dropped her name, okay?
No, I won't. Don't worry
Okay.
about it. And don't worry, we do tip good. I get it. I work as a barista.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah. I could not sling fancy coffees for snobby people. Oh my God. Respect.
You would be surprised how much business it gets in Havenstown.
Mm.
Feel somewhat attacked.
And she's just kind of like, yeah, so like, but yeah, don't tell her I told her so. And don't tell the sheriff I said anything either. I will deny it all.
Us.
Could you give us some simple directions to their domicile?
Yeah, sure. I'll write that down for you. I'll put it on the back of your bill.
Excellent.
And
a normal tip is 50%, correct?
Yeah, like a normal tip.
Yeah, 50%. Excellent.
Uh-huh. Oh, I heard 15. And when she's like 50, she's like, oh, yeah. Wow. Awesome. Thank you.
Where's your restroom?
Oh, yeah. They're just up there.
Okay, thank you. When Arden gets up, they're gonna kind of like look around as they go, and once they're in the bathroom, they're just gonna, hold on. I just want to see how many times I can use this. Hold on, I should have looked at this first. Oh, okay. There's no limit. I want to become incorporeal and kind of wander around, see if I could snoop.
Ooh, okay. So you're gonna be incorporeal and you want to move around. So that means that you can move through things. That doesn't mean that you're invisible.
That's fine.
Okay. So, as Ardent goes to the washroom and the server has served everyone food, is there anything anyone else wants to do?
Eat.
I'm going to take my plate and head over to Redline and let Redline... I'm going to come over with the newspaper. Redline went into the sheriff's mind, and the sheriff has no idea what went on here. They have no clue. But one thing she was positive of is that Erica isn't coming back. He's almost sure she's dead. And did I find out anything from the newspaper?
Yes. So in the newspaper, there's just kind of like some general stuff about like the town's having a meeting about rezoning something. There is talks about how they can attract new tenants to some of the rental places and such. There's not a lot in there. There is the obituary. There is a fair number of kind of like listings. They all appear to be people kind of like in their 60s, 70s, 80s, and older. They're all kind of, it seems like the town is an aging population, and people are kind of passing on. There's some pieces in there that are relevant to the time, the political atmosphere, the pandemic, things like that. There's nothing of particular note. There is stuff about local attempts to drum up tourists and things to bring people to town. There's a puff piece about a farm with a giant corn maze and pumpkin picking and hay rides, and kind of like a fun little picture from like the past weekend and all the people that were picking pumpkins. And there's a big scarecrow in the background, and such. And it says the Guzman's Farm.
Here.
There's
Here, Redline, this corn maze.
Just to on an out of game clarify, has Dick updated everyone with? Oh no, sorry. This cat is distracting the hell out of me because I'm running the stream. I'm trying to make sure she doesn't sabotage it by accident.
deep breaths. We can do it.
Wait, you said Guzman's farm? Isn't that the person? Isn't that the person that the waitress just?
Yes.
Oh boy, that's too much of a coincidence not to investigate.
I totally agree.
Corn mazes and farms and people have seen weird things. Yeah, I think that's probably where we should hit next once we're done here. But let's keep an eye out on the remainder of the people here, just because you never know, they might say something or do something that they might reveal a little bit more, or they might know. In fact, those teenagers might know a bit more about Vanessa actually.
Now that we have our next location, I'm going to dig in. I'm going to rib the professor a little bit and look at him and say, "Hey, I'd be a guest on your podcast, Dick."
Once somebody explains what one is, yes.
And
Is
I'm
it
going
something
to
to
need.
do with the internet? I'm sorry. I have to continue. I have to go talk to teenagers.
While you go talk to teenagers, I need a act under pressure roll, please, for our incorporeal ghost, because you can move through walls with no issue, but you can be seen. So you're trying to sneak around and discover things and not be seen moving through the walls, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'm
So
looking.
you're like sticking
for
your
that-
head out periodically while being in the wall.
I'm looking for where I make that under pressure roll. Is that
Yeah. Act under pressure is going to be a cool plus roll.
cool plus? Okay. Do I declare luck before or after?
After. That is after you know what the roll is, you can choose to use your luck. All right, you fail. What do you want to do?
How do I use my luck? Does that let me do something?
If you choose to use your luck, you automatically it's a success, or you can reduce harm. Harm is not
Well, I'm gonna
applicable in
use
this
it, and
situation.
I'll go back down to one luck because we had one
Okay.
luck from Emily, and
Okay.
to make that a success.
All right. So as you're snooping around incorporeal, you walk through the bathroom wall into the kitchen, and it is like a perfect moment of like the ghost right behind you, like Casper kind of thing. You move about this kitchen behind this short order cook, who's like got stuff in the deep fryer, and there's kind of scooping out some soup. There's a takeout order that's getting put together and stuff, and you're behind them the whole time. They never see it. and they're flipping a burger on the stove. And so, what exactly are you looking for?
I'm looking for anything like maybe like somebody's phone, maybe, or like stuff like that.
Yeah. So you see on the side of the wall, like near the entrance, the back entrance of the diner, like the emergency exit, there's some hooks, and you see that there's like three coats, two purses hung up. You see a backpack, one of them. You'd assume that there's like maybe the phones are in the purses, maybe the backpacks. You're not sure. Maybe they have them in their pockets. The cook has like a kind of a white apron on and, sleeves rolled up, and they're just kind of doing their thing. And then they, lean over, take a sip of water and keep going.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a phone from what appears to be like a more mask presenting jacket.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm just gonna slip it into my pocket. And while I'm in the kitchen, is there a serve safe compliance like thing, or like the health inspector thing? Arden's just curious. This is just for shits and giggles.
Yeah, yeah. There's the like health and safety like approval, like your license to run it is up on the wall, clearly laminated and put up there with like a sticker for each year that they've gotten the approval.
Looks good.
Mm-hmm.
I just take note of the names on there too, and how long the restaurant's been there.
Yeah, so like this one goes back like more than a decade. This place has been open and it's gotten like approval every year. It's like all the like stuff that you would have to show. There's like MSDS sheets, like, by the cleaning agents, which are way at the other end of like in a little closet at the other end. Generally it's clean, it's old. Like the floor is stained and, but it's not sticky or gross, but not that you would know that because you're incorporeal.
Okay. Yeah. I take the phone out with me, and then I go into the bathroom stall, and I just see, like, is it like, does this person have like protection on it or anything?
Yeah, it's locked. It's locked.
Okay.
I have a query regarding the rules.
Mm-hmm.
Incorporeal, how do you take the phone?
I'm going to say that once it goes into her pocket, that it becomes incorporeal as well.
Yes, but how does she grab it in the first place? I'm not trying to stop anything. I'm just curious.
I can go in and out at will.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so I put it in my pocket, and can I turn the screen on and angle it so that like the fingerprints kind of showed? Is there like any like marks on certain buttons maybe because it's greasy back there?
Yeah, I would definitely say that there is. It's an iPhone, so it's like the button, you had to like press the button to turn it on. It's an older model. So like that button has the like fingerprint.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would try to see if I could guess based on where. So, they have a finger ID thing on it?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I would go outside and I would posture over Dr. Shagwell. I would say, do you got any tape on you? And then I would go over to Roxy and I would say, hey, do you got any better idea than using a tape to maybe access a phone that I maybe have? Just quietly whispering. Because my only idea is tape.
And Redline will lean into Arden at this point and say, are you thieving again?
I mean, is this the official investigation? I'm just gonna say I found it in the men's room. I'll just say he dropped it and I'll give it back, I swear. I don't need to sell another phone. You think that I can keep up with that side hustle? I ain't meeting up with people on Craigslist or Facebook Market. I ain't gonna get killed again.
Donna, you silly cat. I do not say that in character. I am not seeing I'm not seeing a black cat on the table sitting on a keyboard trying to.
Yeah. I go and I like take the tape.
Oh, she's
like, and I should have said be subtle.
And now the table's hissing.
No, not the table's a mimic.
The table's a mimic. Roll for initiative. Okay, given that the organization that Roxy works for is definitely got a tech bent, is what I have written, and I'm pretty sure. Yeah, science. Yeah, black budget government department with a science bent. I am wondering if there is something that the agency has that is on my phone or something that would let me break through Apple security, as much of a pain in the backside that is.
I'm gonna say that maybe you have that out in your like you could set it up in the makeshift like van slash ambulance that you have. You have a little bit of like technology in there maybe, but you need like a cable. You need to like it's gonna take some time to connect these two phones with cables and run the like cracking software.
I look at Ardent and like, just give it here, and I'll go run a check on it on the van.
I mean, technically you don't gotta give it back. I mean, he probably thinks somebody took it from the kitchen. Nobody saw me. I'm, what they would call sneaky. Yeah, sneaky.
I think we underestimate the sneaky, dear.
I'm gonna also say that while you were sneaking through the kitchen and there's like that open window, no one looked except for TBD, who can see spirits. So when you go incorporeal, there's like this extra little sense that kind of wiggles on TBD's ear, and you just saw her like doing the sneaky behind the person dance and like. Whoop, whoop.
It was not though. Oh my! It was just like.
All right. Has everyone finished their meal?
Yeah. Maybe. Do you know what? Order me some pie to go while I go and just.
Excellent.
Just to cover.
Yep.
Just busy while
So a thermos of coffee and a pie. Anything else?
Maybe get a carafe or something, a coffee for TBD.
Yeah, definitely.
And no arguments, Arden. I'm just trust me. Go with
I'm
it.
going
for now.
I'm going to try to call the waitress over, and actually, I'm going to stand up and go to the till.
And Roxy, on the other hand, is gonna kind of take her leave and go back to the van to start hooking up this phone.
To make it look like we're all kind of getting ready to leave.
Yeah. So as you're going to the ambulance and you're going to try and crack this phone, I'm going to say that I need an act under pressure roll because there's a stolen phone that you're trying to crack. And as you go up to the cash to pay and you place the orders for takeout, the thermos and the pie and such.
A full pie.
Full pie. Oh, okay.
A whole pie.
I have like two halves.
Just that'll do.
Okay. So she's like writing it all down, and then she's like, "Oh yeah," and cause it's like an old like, your stuff's written down on a piece of paper.
I'm very familiar with the pieces of paper. Yes.
Yeah, and she's typing it all in, and then she's like, "Oh," and then she like grabs your bill back, and she's like, "Here." And she's like, "So you're gonna go down to the hardware store, the open one, and then you're gonna turn left, keep going for." What is it, 3 blocks, and then you're gonna go past the Smith's no, you don't know the Smith's place. Oh, what the hell is the name of roads? I don't know. When you see the place that has like 6 crabapple trees, hang a right. Yeah, and then you're gonna like continue down there for like 3 country miles, and then you'll see the farm. They've got like a new sign out front, and it has like a bunch of pumpkins and corn stalks and stuff because they're like doing like a fall thing. It's really pretty. You should totally go. Like on a sunny day and like take all the pictures and like gram it and stuff.
We have some intent to go towards the maze.
Oh, you're gonna go through the maze? Yeah, that's fun.
Yes, the gentleman over there really loves corn mazes for some reason.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know if they're open on the weekdays right now. They might be because we're getting close to Halloween, but I know they're open on the weekend. And she like writes this down, and there's just like this like. Turn, scribble this, country block, tree, scribble sort of thing. She's giving you the directions.
It makes absolute complete sense to someone of his age. This is the kind of directions he's had forever.
What day is it?
It is a Wednesday.
And it's pretty dark, right? I mean, it's nighttime.
You guys came, it was evening was falling. Now it's definitely starting to get like dim. The sun's not fully set, but with the buildings and the trees and such, you can't really see the sun anymore. Maybe if you went out into the street and you found west, you could find a sunset. But basically, the sky is darkening, yes. However, it is October, so it's like maybe 6:30.
Fine. Should we look for lodging and check this place out in the morning?
I would always. Sure. Where would we sleep for the evening, young miss?
Oh,
We don't wish to camp in our van again.
I don't know if there's no hotels here. There was a bed and breakfast. I don't know if they're open though. Like, I think they close after Labor Day.
You got
Yeah,
the
and
address
she's-
so we could check it out?
She's like, Shirley, do you know if the Coopers still have their bed and breakfast? Yeah. Okay. Well, if you want, you can go out. I mean, they might open just for you, but yeah, the Coopers, they live 3 blocks that way. Just turn at the closed grocery store, and then continue for like I don't know, 3 blocks. Anyways, they have a little sign that just kind of hangs at the end of the driveway that says Cooper's Bed and Breakfast. That's a cute little place. They've got they have a bench out front.
All places around here closed?
Oh, well, I mean, like, yeah, COVID kind of kiboshed a lot of stuff. So they were open during the summer when, like, things were, easier and stuff. But I think they close, like, after Labor Day.
Okay. Got it.
But yeah, here's your, like, 2 halves of a pie. And I would appreciate your 50% gratuity.
Not a problem. I hand over the company visa.
So yeah, she like puts it through the machine, and you can pay that way. What does Roxy Redline? How is that going for you?
So Roxy is going to use one of her abilities. She has the ability as a professional to bottle it up, which is risky, but given the role, so I can, at my discretion, make Roxy get a +1, +2, or a +3 to any act under pressure roll, but it means that our lovely keeper gets to hold that against me for later use, and negative one of my rolls or multiple rolls later. So I'm going to take a +2. So
Okay.
I'm going to bottle it up, and that was a good thing I did. Because that was a 7.
And you're adding a +2 to that?
Yep. Well, it was that 7 is with the +2. So
Oh, that 7's with the +2. Okay,
yeah,
perfect.
I rolled like ass. I rolled a 1 and a 2 on the dice, and then +2, +2. So yeah, that was lucky.
Okay. I'm going to give you a hard choice.
Oh dear.
So, you can crack this phone, but it's going to crack it in such a way that it's going to be obvious that someone's been messing with it. Like, it will break the operating software, and it's going to, like, screw up the phone. It'll be obvious that something is wrong with this phone. It will not be the same. Or you can decide that that is not a good idea. Like, you know that that's going to happen, and you can leave it untouched and return it in one piece.
I'm going to take the first option, and I'm going to basically jailbreak the damn thing.
Yep. Perfect.
Yep.
So basically, the operating system is totally glitched out, and it basically goes back to just like basic mainframe. Like you've just got lists of files, images, and text messages, contact lists. Like it's like fully broken. You're not even hitting icons. You're just able to open like files to get information. You could also, because you've got this stuff and you took the hard choice, I'm going to say that you can download that to look at it at your leisure. And you have this. Now you have this all the information from this phone.
Awesome. I will download that to the laptop that I will have in the van that I mainly use for medical records and such, and uplinks to the agency. It's definitely more modern than Dick's. It's not as clunky either, for that matter. But
Oh, definitely.
yeah, I remember those old school laptops. But yeah, and then Roxy will come back in, and
Oh, we're ready to go.
and sneak the phone to Ardent.
That's easy enough to do.
Did it go smooth?
Yes.
Can I
Yeah.
tell?
Do you really care?
Yeah, because Arden's gonna suggest something if he does notice.
Roxy is lying, but whether Ardent can tell is a different matter.
It's up to you. If you think Ardent, or if you think Roxy's a good liar, and again, you can also choose to manipulate another hunter if you want, but that's usually for like big things. So if you're lying about like no, I didn't actually shoot our friend in the back because they got bitten by a zombie, that would be a manipulate another hunter. Since you're just talking about the phone, I'm going to let you guys roleplay that one as you see fit.
If Ardent does realize, he would say, we don't have to give it back. He doesn't know any of us were back there.
Whether you believe Roxy or not, you've been handed the phone, and if you like touch it in any way, you can tell it's glitched. Like there's no lock screen on it anymore. It just pops open like base code file opening.
Let's just take it with us. We'll toss it in a cornfield.
Hide it in the maze.
It will add to the lore of the town, Ooh, a spooky corn monster came in and horned up this guy's phone. Ooh.
I'm sorry, did you say a spooky corn monster came into the corn maze and corned up this guy's phone and then left it in the middle of the corn maze for some random tourist
Okay.
to find as a prize? I mean, okay, fine. I mean, look, I'm not a I'm a freaking medic, not a tale teller person thing. Fine.
You and those corn mazes, I laugh out loud to kind of cover up for like, not like loud, obnoxious, but like we're joking around and that's why you're flustered. And I
Yeah.
say, come on, let's go. And I take the phone with me outside.
Oh, all right, gang. Let's go get in the mystery machine. Shotgun.
So as you leave, the professor has an entire pie in hand. It's been kind of wrapped up and ready for you. Ardent, you leave with an extra phone in your pocket. TBD, you have the newspaper in hand
And
as well.
Thermos or a carafe of coffee.
And
I did ask for that.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to say that with the tip, she's like, yeah, just bring it back tomorrow since you're staying in town. So you leave with a whole carafe of coffee. No mug. No way to like pour it, except to like straight drink it.
Yep.
They give you like a metal carafe with like a screw top seal. And so you know where the Guzman's farm is, and you've been told where a B&B is. What do you want to do as the sun is just about to truly set? Evening, the air's gotten cold and crisp. The general ambiance outside is quiet. The street lights of the town are starting to turn on. They're kind of interspersed. They're not super frequent, but generally the lights of the town are You see residents, soft lights coming from inside their places. A few houses have some blow-up decorations and such. What do you want to do?
Well, we have two choices the way I see it. We can go investigate the young miss out head to her domicile, or we can try to mayhaps find a B&B to sleep in. I'm not in charge of any kind of way. I prefer beds, but a vote might be in order. Don't everyone jump on at once. Especially those with like muted things.
I will just quickly remind our dear Spooky that in your vision you saw a moon and clouds. You saw things at night. Not backseat driving anyone, just reminding you of your vision.
Yeah, well, if we're gonna find shit.
I think we should maybe do some more investigating. I mean, if we can find out where Erica went missing, I might be able to get a sense of what happened at that location. And wherever she went missing, I certainly don't want to investigate it at night. I'd rather know what we're walking into. My vote is to bed down for the night.
So you don't want to go investigate this evening?
I think we should be a little bit more prepared, Professor. I mean, Redline, don't you think so? We don't even know what we're dealing with here.
Redline's always ready.
The Professor has a point. I'm usually always ready. I see the wisdom in both of these. I mean, we could
investigate for a bit. If it comes to a dead end, then we can turn back and go to the B&B. We still might end up sleeping in our vehicle.
Yeah, I think that'd be the best path. Like a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Oh, we could go home.
Don't think that's an option now.
No, I think we've gotten some attention, be it wanted or not. Plus,
so the Gooseman's farm it is then.
Yeah.
Guzman.
Guzman.
The Guzman farm it is.
The goose who are men.
Tally ho! Let's go.
Oh God.
The real enemy, the
And
corn
we are
monster.
up north. And we are up north.
All right.
Rolling.
You head down the blocks, turn at the open hardware store, past the place with the trees, and you keep going. Your headlights, as you're leaving kind of like town proper, your headlights are the only lighting up the road in front of you. The old ambulance lights are functional enough, but they're not crazy LED. And as you're going, some of these trees kind of overstretch the road, casting kind of long shadows. The sun fully sets fairly quickly as it does. The sky is kind of partially overcast, partially not. The flickering of moonlight kind of passes over the hood of the ambulance as you're driving. And in general, it's quiet and serene. You pass by one other car heading into town, and as you reach where maybe you're starting to think that you've gone too far, you do indeed see a sign that kind of hangs, and it says Guzman Family Farm, and then underneath it there's like a new wooden sign hanging underneath it that says like pick your own pumpkins, and a giant corn maze, fun for the family. It is like pushing 7 o'clock at night now. What do you want to do?
And there's probably no other people or cars here.
So as you're pulling up to this farm and you see this sign out at front, there's a long driveway. And along the driveway, as you're pulling up, there's kind of like areas that have been mowed. You can clearly tell that like where a pumpkin patch was on the right. that has been like they've pulled the vines and a lot of the leaves, so it's easy to find some pumpkins. To the left, there is a number of piles of pumpkins. So you can just buy, small, medium, large. There's some funny looking gourds and such as well. And then behind the pumpkin patch, there is an entrance to a maze. There's a house set. I'm gonna say, sorry, Canadian meters. I'm going to say it's like 500 meters from the road. There's this old farmhouse. And then behind that, there's a big, more modern looking drive shed where you'd assume people keep, tractors, combines, stuff like that. There is, beyond the house, beyond that, you see a huge field of corn. This is obviously an active farm. You do see a truck and a car parked in front of the house, and there's some lights on in the house.
So, one thing to note is that the ambulance is loud.
Right now, you're still technically on the road.
Okay.
I mean, we weren't planning on sneaking onto the farm or trespassing, were we?
On that note, do you think one of us might be better suited sneaking around as well while we converse?
That would probably be me or Ardent.
Yeah, I can be intangible, but I can't be, invisible.
Well, intangible at night is pretty good.
Yeah. Can I see in the dark?
No.
Yeah, there's an issue though. You know how you can't see people at night? I can't see people at night either.
Oh.
I'm gonna remind you too that this is cow corn. It's 6.5 to 7 feet tall. The pumpkin patch, there's no vines. They've really cleared it, so it's a wide open space. Between the pumpkin piles is just kind of lawn, and there's a few trees lining the driveway, but either it's open space or it's fields of crop.
You feel like you're in one of those murder talkies right now?
Look to the house. Yeah. We are here to talk to a person, are we not?
Yeah, I guess.
We can talk to Vanessa, and then maybe someone can break off and have a snoop around. Also, while we're at it, Professor, I uploaded all the stuff from the phone onto the agency laptop there. If you want to.
No. Excellent.
Look through anything and see if you can find anything useful, especially about Vanessa, that we can use.
By the way, at some point, Arden just threw the phone in the corn while they were driving. Just was like, hey, Roxy, give me control of the back window. Why is child locks on?
Because you like to throw coffee cups out of the damn window. To fucking make a point to TBD about addiction or some crap. Fine.
Let me out. Come on.
She rolls down the window using the master controls on the driver's side.
All right.
My long arms.
Phone goes out the window. Disappears into the night as you're driving by. You don't even see where it lands.
Nor care.
No. I go back into the car and I roll up the window and I said, that was good. You should let us have control of the windows. I'm gonna be the one out the window next, ain't I?
Perhaps.
Look at the kitty. Look at the kitty.
Yes, sorry, my kitty wouldn't leave, and I didn't have the heart to.
This is not a sorry situation. This is great.
I'm not one to speak. Mine is on my right, staring at me.
So, quick question before we move on with this. Does anyone need a quick break? I'm happy to continue on, but I understand that humans sometimes need to not be in front of a screen for their entire lives. So.
I need to drink water and go to the bathroom and stretch, or else I will become a ghost like Arden.
Okay. So is this a good chance to take a quick 5 minutes?
Yeah,
before
we
you
go, are we
drive
just driving up to the door first?
I thought, are we gonna look at the phone or are we gonna go in first?
I don't think we have time at the moment. We're sitting in the middle, like we're just off the road by the driveway. It
Yeah, we
might
should
look
just go
a
in
tad
then.
suspicious if I sit here and go through some files now,
Yeah.
as
Yeah,
opposed to
let's-
just go up to the door and knock and ask to speak to Vanessa.
Or should we
Okay.
ask? Yeah. Okay. Got it.
I can't
Which
wait.
won't look suspicious at all.
Yeah,
Well, it
I
looks
can't
less
wait for this
suspicious.
old ambulance to drive up this farmhouse lane at 7:00 at night in October when it's dark. And I want to know which one of you is walking up to the porch, knocking on the door, and asking for the young woman named Vanessa.
That would be me.
You want to do it?
Spectacular.
Okay.
Well,
I can't wait
there's-
to see what you're going to do.
Well, TBD is better suited to wander around and get spooky senses.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as I've got Roxy behind me, I know I'm physically probably fairly safe.
Everything's gonna go great. Okay, I got.
Yeah.
Spectacular.
I will straighten up, straighten my bow tie, look all proper, and head to the door, and let's take a break.
Nothing bad will happen.
All right. See you in 5.
Right, we'll see you in 5, folks. And we're back, and now would be an awesome time to remind you all to go and donate to Extra Life. Also buy Canadian Dice, that was the wrong thing, but I will do this one. Haha, there. And remember, for those of you on stream, it's tinyl.com/factair Extra Life 2023. That's more for the podcast and the stream, but hey, either way. And I will hand back over.
Awesome. And I'm going to put the random little plug into the fact that I am extremely competitive. And if I was the team member who won with the most donations, I would be over the moon. I'm just saying. But donating to anyone is pretty spectacular, and I think it's great. So, we left with a break where you were puttering down the road. Puttering? Tell me, does this ambulance/van putter? Does it grumble, growl? What's descriptors?
It does. It kind of grumbles and growls at lower speeds, I'd say.
Okay.
Especially on country
so as
roads.
you're turning off this paved road, but it's a country road, so there's no lines, yellow lines down the side of it or anything like that. But it's paved and it's smooth. You turn off of it onto this long driveway, which is indeed gravel. There's little dips in like the unevenness of this gravel driveway. As you're going, and you do kind of like hear this like clunk clunk of the suspension, you have to go quite slow or this will be a very bumpy ride. So it grumbles and growls. Your headlights illuminate piles of pumpkins. They're kind of set up on a couple of like empty hay wagons, and some of them are on the ground. You see some of them are in like old apple kind of boxes and such. So as the headlights illuminate them, they cast long shadows silhouetting against each other. As you're passing the trees and, there's moments of darkness and long shadows across the lawn. But as you approach the house, there's an outside light that's on and there's some gentle glows coming from the windows, one of them on the second floor and kind of like the first floor. There's a porch with a screen door on the front and then an interior door as well. There's easy places to park the ambulance beside the other vehicles, or you could park. It looks like there's an area where like visitor parking is. If you're doing the pumpkin patch and the maze and such, there's an area that's kind of roped off for that. It's a little further from the house, but you can park wherever you like.
I'm gonna go with unless someone objects, I'm going with the visitor thing because if we have to like take an evasive action, say into the maze or something, for whatever reason, I'd like to be somewhat near to the ambulance in that case if we decide to find ourselves in the maze at some point.
Mm-hmm. So you you park there, and does everyone get out of the paramedics van? Tell me what you all do.
I go through my bag, my satchel, and find my map.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to head to the front door, looking confused, old, and befuddled.
Okay.
TBD is going to get out and wander toward the pumpkin patch.
Okay.
Making sure to stay within sight. I'm not trying to hide or anything like that.
Roxy,
just going to wander off the road a little bit.
Roxy, could you please come with and keep me alive if this goes sideways?
Which cover do you want me to use? Your doddering, your granddaughter, or your bit of totty?
I think in this case, granddaughter would be best.
Yeah. Okay, just so we know ahead of time. But yes, I'll come with you.
Right.
Oh, you're muted, Ardent.
I'll go with TBD. Let's split up, gang.
Okay.
Is it really a game
into...
if you don't break the party? Come on.
So that's a fun thing about Monster of the Week. You splitting the party is absolutely okay and definitely encouraged. So 2 of you go to the door, 2 of you wander off into the pumpkin patch. The pumpkin patch area, again, they've removed a lot of the vines, not all of them, so you can still like pick your pumpkin. But they've made it easy for people to see the pumpkins and pick them out and such. It's kind of like dimly lit from the exterior lights and such. There's a little bit of moonlight glow. The round orange surfaces of the pumpkins are easy to see, so you don't trip over them, but maybe your foot catches every now and then on a little vine on the ground. So as you kind of wander over there, you hear knock, knock, knock. Okay. So after a moment, you hear some kind of rustling inside, and then the inner door opens, and in front.
I step back just to look non-threatening as possible. I'm going to stoop a little bit.
The screen door opens. And this middle-aged man kind of looks at you and looks at Roxy and is like, sorry. I know their name is Guzman, but they were Guzman of the bad Scottish Bruce County accent. So they go, can I help you with anything?
I certainly hope so. We may be lost.
Yeah, I would think so. Where were you going?
We were told that there's a farm around here with a maze.
Well, yeah, that's us, but I mean, we're closed right now. It's nighttime. It's kind of a daytime event. We do have.
Wouldn't it look better in the evening when it's all extra spooky?
Well, we do on like the night before Halloween and Halloween night. We have like a haunted walk. I hire a couple of locals to like jump out from the patch and scare people. But not tonight.
But we're only here for one night. Is there any chance that do you have anyone who could run us through the maze, just to see it? Like a youngster or somebody who has free time?
And you kind of see them like look back into the house and look at you. Please roll me a manipulate someone as you're trying to convince this farmer to let random people at 7 o'clock at night walk through his corn maze. So that is going to be roll plus charm.
Okay.
I will aid if I can.
Yeah, you're welcome to roll the help out. So that'll be roll plus cool.
Sorry, charm you say?
To manipulate, yes.
This isn't gonna go.
Oh, okay.
I got 11 on my assist roll there, my help out roll.
Okay, so on your help out roll, you give a +1 to this roll. Tell me how you help out the doddering old man who just wants to go through a corn maze at night.
I start explaining that Grandpa here has, doesn't have that many years left on the clock, so to speak. And,
I stoop a little more.
Yeah, and really wants to just do some fun things while he has the time to, and going through a haunted corn maze at night was one of his bucket list things. So
that's the term, bucket list.
Yeah.
Thank you, dear.
You're welcome, Granddad.
So with the +1 to that roll, that'll still be a failure there for the professor.
I know.
Are you keeping it?
Professor, may I remind you, you have luck to spend.
Hey, you may remind me. You want to do it one more time and so I remember to do it?
Not only do you have 1 luck, you have 2 luck.
You do indeed.
So I want to spend one of my lucks.
Absolutely. So not reroll, sorry. That will become an automatic success.
Excellent.
So as you explained that this older gentleman doesn't have many years left and it's part of his bucket list. You see this middle-aged man, he just kind of like rubs his palms on his jeans and is kind of like a little uncomfortable, and he's like, yeah, all right, yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I get it. Obviously, you're not long for this world.
I could pay you if that helped.
Yeah. No, I mean, it is an attraction. I was just going to say I can only do cash because I don't have the system set up.
I'm going to search around in my satchel and pull out a bunch of crumpled money. Maybe a loony for some reason.
Oh,
probably some pesos. Okay. Just dump it all.
Oh, God. Okay. Why do I I'm okay. All right. So, yeah. Do you have some flashlights or something? Like your phones. You can.
Yeah.
It's a big maze. Like, don't. It could take you like half an hour to get through, especially in the dark. Are you good?
Do you have someone to guide us? I can
Right,
pay
I can-
extra. Hang on. I got granola bars in here.
Oh God, no, that's fine. That's fine.
And I got some wipes.
I can pay extra cash, Grandad. I've got cash here, and Roxy ever being
It's-
prepared.
I'm not trying to scalp you or nothing. It's just here. So, here. All right, Vanessa, and you hear him call up into the house. Vanessa, just a moment. My daughter might be able to. Vanessa, and you hear the like footsteps come down the stairs, and you see this young woman, 20, just past 20. She's got dark hair. She's wearing like baggy sweatpants and baggy hoodie that are tie-dyed, as was the 2021 fashion. She's got a pair of like Crocs on, and she's like, yeah. And you see the dad, just a moment, and closes the screen door, goes over and talks to her, and you see her going like,
I think we want this one.
and he's like, and she's like, and then you see him go to a drawer and grab a big flashlight and like slap it in her palm, and then like pat her on the shoulder to be like, thank you, good job or something. And suddenly she's walking towards the door, like dragging her feet, kind of her shoulders are hunched, and she's like, all right, like, come on.
Thank you, dearie.
Yeah, you're welcome, sir. I'll take you to the maze, but I'm not like to the start, and I'll wait for you at the finish, but I'm not going in.
So if I holler because we can't find a way out, will you come help us?
Oh, please don't get lost in that maze. Oh my God, it's so creepy. I don't know.
Okay. I dot her over there, walking about half the speed that Roxy knows I can. So I have time to question this individual.
She kind of turns to Roxy, and she's kind of like, I'm not trying to be rude. Like, this is a small family farm. Like, you guys aren't gonna like fake a fall and like sue us, right? Like, we don't have the insurance. We should not be doing this.
What? No, of course not. That's not why we're here. No.
So she turns on the flashlight, and she's walking towards it, and she's just kind of rubbing her arm. We're gonna cut to what was happening during all this with our pumpkin patch people. What were you guys wanting to do in the pumpkin patch other than not to be at the door?
Hold hands, talk about our feelings. No.
I'll roleplay that.
No, Arden doesn't want to do that. Arden has cold hands. They're very self-conscious about it. He says, so, hopefully you don't see any faces on those pumpkins.
I don't, but I didn't get any kind of sense. The pumpkin patch. I've been the whole time I've been in the pumpkin patch, I've been looking at the corn, see if it's waving at all, see if there's any kind of movement in there.
You look at the pumpkin patch, and there's this gentle breeze, right? And like, because the corn is so tall, the top bits just kind of gently sway in the lightest breeze. Their drying leaves are, drooping and such. Their tassels are long since empty. You can kind of see them silhouetted against the backdrop of the clouds that are being illuminated by the moon in the sky. And TBD, you hear, help me. Come, please. Help.
Arden,
Oh.
did you hear that?
Do I hear that?
You did not.
You talking about the wind, or?
No, I heard something else. It sounded like a growling voice. Like, I swore I just heard someone say, "Help me."
Have you considered that it's your own, consciousness because of all the coffee?
Heard something again. I haven't had any coffee for like the last hour. I drank the whole thermos on the way over here.
Well, maybe that's the problem. Oh, but what do you mean it's at like? Is there a direction it's coming from, or?
Oh, you hear that? It's coming from all around me.
You strongly feel it coming from the corn maze.
Maze.
Are you sure it's the? Are you sure it's the maze? It's not over there where it's light and our friends are. You sure it's the maze?
And can you get any sense of any spirits or anything else? I mean, if you go incorporeal, can you see them?
No, I can only see as good. My eyes are just, less pokey. But, Arden's trying to feel around.
You have the sight, though, remember?
I do.
You might be able to hear it if you go incorporeal. If you enter the ghost realm, you might be able to hear the voice I'm hearing.
Okay, I'm going ghost.
Okay. Going ghost?
Yeah, going ghost.
Okay. I'm gonna have you roll investigate a mystery as you go ghost and attempt to listen to this, please. So roll me sharp plus your roll.
Oh God.
An 8. Okay, mixed success. So with a mixed success, you get to hold 1, so you can ask 1 question. What happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What was it going to do? What is being concealed here? Or something else along those lines.
What is?
And you
the
get
creature?
1 question. Pardon?
The what is the creature one?
The what is the creature?
Yeah.
Okay. So with this, as you turn corporeal, it's like suddenly, or incorporeal, suddenly it's like you feel like you're kind of attuning to a wavelength. And you feel like your ears, like your incorporeal ears almost like pop. And suddenly you're able to hear as well. Help me. Please. Please. Help. And something about you vibrates. You know that this is something undead, something spirit, something that was human and no longer is. You don't know exactly what, but you get that concept. You know this is not a fairy. This is not an alien. This is definitely undead something.
Hey, you want some good news or you want some bad news, TBD?
Let's give me the good news first.
Good news? It's not, a fairy or a demon or that pig that could fly that we fought the other week. It's not any of those. Seriously, who makes
What's
pigs?
the bad news?
The bad news is, it's probably a spirit and it's saying help me a lot, like you said. But it did ask please, so I think we should give it some more urgency.
Sounded like a female voice. It's centered on the corn maze. I wonder if that's where Erica disappeared.
It could be. I mean, this thing, it was definitely a human, I think, at one point. It wasn't like, a ghost of something else, like a piece of corn.
That means whatever she needs help from, probably still
I'm gonna
out
say
there.
with your mixed success, you know for sure it is not a piece of corn.
It's a human, probably, and probably not a piece of corn. Or, we should probably wait for the others to get here, because, I don't know how to do well, I do know how to do CPR, but I don't know how to do, CPR and beyond.
Here they come now. Professor's got a woman with him.
Mm-hmm. And this would be the first time that you would see Vanessa as well. And she comes up, large flashlight in hand, her phone in the other one. And she seems to be kind of like looking at it and then looking up and then looking at it and like maybe she's trying to like distract herself. And she's like, this way. And she like waves the flashlight from the pumpkin patch towards the corn. And you see she highlights a break in this like just wall of corn that you see, and it's got some like pumpkins at the edge of it, and it's got like a little sign that says like start, a wooden sign on a stake, and it says start.
I reach into my satchel and I pull out 2 flashlights.
Take one.
Sir, can I have a granola bar while you're in there?
Absolutely. Here you are.
So I'm going to just quickly, because this is continuing on, you are average looking people, right? No one is carrying a machete or a rifle or a sword. No, I don't want anyone to be like, no, I walked up to that door with like a lance and this doctor or this guy was okay with us letting go through his cornfield. I'm just saying, like, right now, your characters look average.
Yes. At this exact second, yes. But I do have a blessed knife that I have in my satchel that I can get relatively quickly.
That would be fine. We know that pistol. Roxy carries a concealed weapon.
No, we don't. You know nothing.
I, the keeper, know this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I conceal carry.
You conceal carry? Okay. Incorporeal.
I have a magnum.
Okay.
I got a permit. It's okay, I got a permit.
Yeah, in your last life.
I just have a little 9mm.
They don't expire, I think.
Just a little 9mm.
Yeah, I have a lighter, my wallet.
Well, compared to the Magnum.
Yeah.
Yeah, I left the submachine gun in the van because that's harder to conceal.
Yes.
Okay. In your pants, are you happy?
Not that you're going to need any of this, I'm just saying.
I have my lighter, I have my wallet, which has like $20 and my fake ID in it. I switched it out for my real ID. My real ID is in the car. And my book and my messenger bag are also in the car.
Okay.
I would probably leave my gun in the car as well.
So you don't have a gun at all?
Oh, I also have my phone with me. With that.
So, this young woman walks up. She seems super not interested. She's got like the flashlight out front, and now she's like kind of like crossed her arms, and she's like got the flashlight here and the phone here, and she's like, yeah, so like, you can go in here, and I'm gonna go. And she points to, you guys are heading into the maze, heading north, and she points to the west, and she's like, that's the exit's on that side, so I'll meet you there. Okay, so have fun and.
Dearie?
No, thanks. And she gives you like the weirdest, like, are you all there kind of look.
Thank you so much. I know that you're going out of your way. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I really hope you enjoy this.
You don't sound like you're gonna enjoy it. Is something the matter?
I've always wanted to do one of these, dearie.
Okay, this is. I mean, I hope you enjoy it, but yeah, like this is a little unusual. But
I know, like I couldn't get off work at the same time as everybody else, and he wanted us to all do it together. You know, family things. You know how it is. I mean, you're all family.
I just head in while that. I'm not quite answering any more questions.
Oh,
I daughter into the maze.
Should someone? Like
yeah, okay. We'll see you soon. We'll see you soon.
We'll see you at the exit.
Okay. Seriously, don't get lost. Like, just keep eventually heading west. Okay.
I immediately take the first east turn.
We'll get him. Okay. Don't worry.
Okay.
On purpose.
Yes. Yeah.
So very quickly, you get into this area or into this cornfield, and again, they're like 6.5, 7 feet tall. It is well worn. The paths, when they split and go in different directions, it appears like people have gone in every direction. It's a well-made maze too. It is big as well. The shadows are very long. Parts of them are almost pitch black because of the corn and the shadows from things. But you have flashlights. You have your phones. You go into this maze. What are you doing?
Does
What is the
anyone have a
purpose?
picture of this maze on the Google thing? Because if they do this all the time, there might be some aerial photography they've done in order to sell things, and we need to find, I believe, the middle. Unless you guys found something else out.
TBD, you want to tell them what we found? You found it first.
I don't
Go ahead,
know
son.
if you want to know.
Oh, it's fine.
There's something wrong, Professor. We heard a voice, and it wasn't just me this time. Arden heard it too.
Excellent.
I'm telling you the truth. Arden heard it.
Oh, I have
It was
always
calling out
believed
for
in
help.
you.
It's calling out for help, and it sounded like it was in pain, and it was a female's voice, and it's coming from the maze. I can feel it.
You think you can follow it if you hear it again?
Maybe.
Well, lead on then.
Sir, how many more times do I have to do this, Professor? When am I free from this service?
Lad, it's not a service, it's a blessing. I know it's hard on you, but I have trusted your abilities, and I know deep down you want to make the world a better place, and unfortunately we all have a cross to bear.
Unless you're a
wasn't a better
vampire.
place for me.
I know, I'm terribly sorry, but sometimes small sacrifices must be made, and the only reason why you had to make it is because you are strong enough to take it. Would you be so kind as to help us rid the world of one more nasty critter? And I can see about trying to get you a vacation or something with your organization. Maybe your own espresso machine.
I think it's that way to the west.
Lead on. You're a good boy. I pat him on the shoulder.
Redline, shouldn't you go first?
Yeah, you're right.
So
I'll be right behind you.
I got some additional news. It's probably some sort of spiritual entity, and it's most likely human. And I'm 99% sure it's not the ghost of a corn cob.
How are you 99% sure that... You know what? Never mind. Roxy will take point and start leading through the west. Yeah, kind of taking passages, corridors, what have you, heading towards the west center kind of area, as best as she can tell.
So the maze
Is the corn dry?
Yes.
And so how thick is it if we were to subvert the path and go through the corn?
It seems like it's been designed so that's not an easy thing to do. There's no twists and turns that you can see another path on the other side. They're fairly thick. I would say that they're 3 feet at least deep, or more. As you're making your way through though, it's clear that obviously there's kind of a main path, and then if you turn off of it by accident, you very quickly come to a dead end, you backtrack and you can keep going. There's never a 3-way split. It's always 2, and either you quickly find out it's a dead end or you keep going. So it's clearly designed to be a maze that people aren't really meant to get fully lost in, but to enjoy doing. So after a little while, you realize you're definitely moving towards the center of the maze. As you do so, the crickets and kind of general ambience of the night seems to die down a little bit. Time is passing. Crunching sound of some of the fallen corn leaves and such crunch underfoot. Your breath comes in little puffs of frost as it is fully night now. There's a little coldness, on your extremities, tips of your fingers, tip of your nose. As you're moving, if you walk a little faster, the little bit of cold air on your cheeks. Yeah. Is anyone wanting to do anything else, or you just, from now on, you're just walking quietly following Roxy?
Once we get closer to the center, Once we get closer to the center and I feel the presence building, I'm going to try to use the sight to try and see invisible spirits and stuff. But I'm holding it until I can see the center.
Okay.
I have a game query about a juju bag.
Yep. About what it is?
Yeah, and what it does. It sounded cool.
You took it on your sheet?
I did. I have a juju bag, a blessed knife, and I have both of those with me in my purse, in my satchel.
I'm just double checking, because I'm surprised it doesn't tell you on your sheet.
It just says harm, far, magic.
Oh yeah, so it's basically like a magical grenade.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I am going to pull out the juju bag and hold it in the non-flashlight hand, which will be my throwing hand, because I'm at the back of the line.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so you guys head into this as you're kind of heading to the center. The sight is turned on, you're looking around. And now at this point, your breath is starting to come more and more into like frosted, like, yeah.
Is it just
the cold
me, or is it getting nipply?
Mm-hmm.
They look fine to me. Ardent looks down at his shirt.
As you approach the center of the maze, suddenly it opens up into a large circle. Here, the ground is trampled, like all the corn stalks here are like bent over, and so the ground is crunchy underfoot. The stalks are dry, the leaves it's clearly well trodden and such, and standing in the middle of it is a scarecrow. Its head is a large oblong-shaped pumpkin that has been carved with traditional triangle eyes and a big mouth with some jagged teeth in it. The scarecrow has no light coming from inside the head, and its arms and body is just like a vertical stick, and then there's a horizontal stick for the arms. There is a plaid button-up shirt on it that hangs low over it, and it's standing in the middle of this field or circle. In the circle, there is 6 options to continue on. 1 that you came from, and 5 more. As you're using the sight, this pumpkin in front of you seems to kind of like, for a second, in and out. Like it's like it wasn't quite in focus, or it wasn't quite in line with itself. Just for a second.
That's suspicious.
Yeah, anyone else notice that?
Who sees that?
Only TBD,
I thought so.
as TBD is using the sight.
Yes, sir. Watch the.
Oh, I can't hear you.
You guys hear me?
Yep.
Professor, a scarecrow.
Yes.
Stab it with your knife.
How about I throw this at it? And I just chuck the juju bag at it.
You chuck the juju bag at it, and as you do so, it like hits, and like the contents of it, like the dust, the incantations and such, like explode. The juju bag is now expended. As it does so, and the dust goes up into the air, though, with your sight, you can see the magic like go in effect, and it's like, I'm gonna use another reference. It's like glitter dust. Suddenly lands on this pumpkin, and suddenly you see the outline of like a female figure kind of like superimposed on this pumpkin. And as you do this, you hear
Did that help?
The pumpkin suddenly glows. This red light comes from inside the eyes, and you see it start to move. With the stick that it is on seems to split into a pair of legs. Its arms that should be like straight suddenly sort of bend. Spirit-like claws start to come out from it, and it is going to attack now that you have attacked it.
Do we all see it, or
Does
just
I was gonna say, does everybody else see this?
Everyone else sees the pumpkin coming to life and attacking the glowing eyes. Only you are able to see the super kind of imposed female spirit over it. As it...
Oh, good gracious. That was wrong.
As it
Redline, the
animates,
face.
it's going to say... I asked for help and I will take it. I will take it, take it, take it.
Well, that's
All right.
just not cricket.
So,
They hear
there
the
is no
voice
initiative
now?
order. You tell me what you're going to do. My creature's going to do things too. It is going to lunge the first person in front. Who is in front? I was told it was Roxy taking the lead. All right. So,
Nice playing with you all.
please refer to your sheets. So if you want to do something that is attacking, that is kick some ass. That is going to be your roll plus tough. If you want to protect someone, that is going to be roll plus tough as well. If you want to act under pressure, which is going to be to do basically anything in this situation other than kick some ass or protect somebody, that's going to be an act under pressure. You can also choose to help out. Now, if you're going to help someone with kicking some ass, I'm going to need some description. Tell me how this all goes. So in this moment, this glowing eyes, these spirit-like claws come out, and only TBD is able to see this like blue, white white eyes, sunken face superimposed on this creature back and forth. That is going to be it as it lunges for Roxy. Roxy, what is Roxy doing?
She is...
Everyone tell me what you do at the same time, and then we play it out according to rules.
Okay.
She is
like,
going
on the count of
to...
three?
Yeah, just bombarded with all the sounds we do at the same time.
Roxy is absolutely gonna try and... She doesn't want to draw the pistol just yet, but she is going to try and give this one a proper, proper Welsh uppercut.
I could probably say something verbally, right? As soon as I see this and the reaction of the juju bag, I'm going to be calling out to Roxy, who's in front. Roxy, the pumpkin, the head of the pumpkin, the face, the woman's face, the screaming sunken cheeks. I saw it's in the pumpkin. The pumpkin is the key.
I am going to draw my knife, my blessed knife out of my bag, and move kind of laterally around the circle, so I'm not in a direct line in case there's some sort of area effect or attack that I don't know about.
Okay.
Because this is not my first rodeo.
All right. And what is Ardent going to do?
Does Ardent know if life drain works on most spirits or no? Because it's...
That might be something you would need to read a bad situation to find out about, if this would be effective in this moment. So read a bad situation is something that you can do. Help out, act under pressure, protect someone, kick some ass, use some magic. Those would all be things that you would want to use possibly in this situation. You're also welcome to just investigate the mystery in this situation if you want. That's cool too.
First thought was to throw his lighter into the pumpkin, and that's a bad idea. So Arden's going to try to read the situation to see, like, if he tries to drain the spirit essence, if it will be effective or not.
Okay. Arden is reading. I need you to roll, please. The read a bad situation. I need kick some ass from Roxy. I need kick some ass from the professor. No, you're just moving.
I'm just going to get out of the way. I guess I'm going to try to read the situation because I'm going around to see if I know, have a memory of some sort of creature like this.
Okay, and remind me, TBD, you are just telling people what to do?
No. So I called that out, hopefully before all the action started. But as I see the professor go around to the one side, I'm going to take suit and go around to the opposite side. So try to flank the thing on both sides. So we're circling it on three fronts. And since I have the site active right now, I'm going to try to investigate this mystery.
Okay, cool. All right, so I need that roll then, please. And did Ardent use a luck point? Or am I misreading the rolls?
No, it said that I used my sharp, I thought, only.
Sorry, I saw one from before that. My apologies if I'm reading too far back. I saw an 8 for you and then a 9. So it's all good. Okay. So.
I might have just pressed it twice. Honestly,
Mixed
I was trying to
success.
figure out how to do it.
Okay. So here's what's going to happen. Roxy, you are going to give it a Welsh uppercut, as you said. You come in with your fist, and your fist hits Pumpkin. Your knuckles break into it. You hear this like gourd like crack, and this red light seeps through this crack. You do think you definitely hit it. You saw light come through it, but as you do so, these claws dig into you, and they are going to take 2 harm. And as they do so, you, because they just like these claws just dig right into your shoulders, right into those joints. You can feel this like sinking in between the bones and the muscles, and it's going to carry you to the ground. You're now prone on the ground with it on top of you. And as it feels like it's on top of you, you feel it like pressing you down into the ground. So please take 2 harm you are prone.
Do I reduce that by 1 for the flak vest I'm wearing?
Yes, you do. Your armor indeed does reduce it by 1.
And
Thank
thankfully
you.
that was hidden. That's why. Okay.
Nice.
Excellent.
So your flak vest does indeed take some of it, but some of these like claws still press into your shoulders. With this, so I have Ardent and has a mixed success. TBD has a mixed success, and the professor has a full success. So you are all trying to read a bad situation. So the professor gets a hold 3, and the rest of you hold 1. So this is where you get to ask questions. You can, what is my best way in? What's my best way out? Are there any dangers we haven't noticed? What's the biggest threat? What's most vulnerable to me? What's the best way to protect victims? All those things. You can ask something like, what's a vulnerability? What is it fully? How do we neutralize it? Any of that kind of stuff.
Because I basically
Mike-
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Professor.
I like being called that. I'm just going to try to check the brain's Rolodex and see, because I've heard TBD said that there's a woman, and I've heard a female's voice, and I'm just seeing a pumpkin. So
what
I'm using
you
my
have
read a
3
bad
questions.
situation. I can ask 3 questions.
3 questions.
Do I know what this is? Flat out. Do I know what creature we're dealing with?
No, you do not. You've never seen this creature before, nor has it been something in like a encyclopedia.
Okay, the next question is, best guess, what do I think might be a vulnerable part?
The juju bag worked, so you're thinking anything that would... you think magic is effective.
Awesome. I wonder if my blessed dagger is. It's not magic. Anyway, and how do I protect my granddaughter from more abuse?
It appears as if the physical side of this creature is having an effect on Roxy. It is a physical, like the material, the corporeal part of this creature is affecting them. So it's not like a hypnotism or something like that. So, I mean, yeah, it seems if you broke it, it couldn't hurt.
Okay. So those are my 3. My brain, magic.
Okay.
In investigating this mystery, seeing it come to fruition with the pumpkin coming to life, I'm going to look around at the site as a whole and see if I can gauge what is being concealed here. Did something happen? Is there some kind of ritual? Is there some kind of otherworldly being controlling our spirit? I'm gonna look for something else.
So as you're looking at the site at this, and you're trying to see what's concealed, you're able to kind of like for a moment unfocus your eyes from the material world, and you don't see the scarecrow anymore. You don't see its claws digging into Roxy. Roxy, I'm assuming it's an owl moment.
Yes,
Feel
it's
free
very
to.
much an a little help here kind of moment, just like pain. Like, could someone please get this bloody pumpkin off of me?
So as you unfocus from your friend who's like, asking for help, you see this like superimposed kind of like the spirit on it. But you see the spirit is kind of like, the spirit isn't like digging into your friend, but rather it's kind of like pushing, and it's almost like looks like it's like inside, like it's like animating, like it was like a big suit, like it's wearing this pumpkin. And as you're looking at this spirit, it looks like these tendrils of blue kind of energy diffuse from the bottom of it, kind of like jellyfish tendrils, and sink into the soil all around it. And even as you're looking at it, it looks like it's trying to push Roxy into the earth. And it seems like it's trying to like pull into where these tendrils are going.
And I verbalize something to my group.
Yep, totally.
There's something in the ground, something underneath the corn. The tendrils, it's being drawn. It's powered from something underneath.
Last but not least, Arden, what did you want to do?
How many questions do I get?
You get one.
Okay, I asked what's the biggest threat?
Definitely the scarecrow. It is definitely the thing that you need to worry about.
Okay.
And now that said, it is time for the professor to do some stabby.
I also
Okay.
have one more question. So
Oh.
because I'm a part of the monstrous, I have to feed on spiritual essence. What happens if my friend gets like very injured? Like, do I have to do anything then just for the future? I just want to roll. No, like, when would that mechanic come into play during, if it?
Yeah, totally. Let me just pull up here. So your monstrous, you picked feed. You must subsist on living humans. It could be from blood, brains, or spiritual essence, but it must be from people. You need to act under pressure to resist feeding whenever the perfect opportunity presents itself. So you feed on spiritual essence.
Yeah. So if somebody was close to dying, would I have to act under pressure?
Yes. If their spirit was about to leave their body, yes, you would absolutely have to act under pressure not to eat their soul.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it won't come up.
All right.
Would you rather have the demonic cornfield, have your soul, or me, your friend?
Okay. This creature is pushing Roxy into the ground, and like the claws are going into you. As you feel the claws go into you, they are going to extend more, and you're going to start to feel this like crushing pressure that more than the scarecrow could ever possibly do, and it's going to try and crush you into the ground, Roxy. I need you to please take 4 harm, minus the 1 for your flak vest, as you are being pressed in. What are you going to do, Roxy? Or anyone else, if there's something else someone wants to do first.
I want to run in and stab it with my magic dagger.
You pull out a dagger and stab away, Roxy, or anyone else?
I have a blessed knife, actually. It's not magic, it's blessed.
Seeing the professor's rushing forward. The juju bag that you had, I'm imagining like a burlap bag. Is it like a kid's, paper lunch sack, or was it that tall, or was it just
more like a dice bag? More like
a
potpourri dice bag. Okay, I'm gonna grab the remnants of that burlap dice bag and rip the seams open and try to reach it around the scarecrow's stick neck, pull the scarecrow up off of Roxy.
Okay.
Nice.
With the magic dice. Hopefully there's a little powder left in there.
Okay, I need 2 kick some ass rolls here.
Yeah, I'm also going to try to attack it with my life drain ability. I do have to kind of get up close, though, for that.
Yep. All of these are up close weapons, for sure.
Actually, no.
How do we roll kick ass?
Yep, roll kick ass.
Yeah, which is
how do we roll kick ass?
Straight tough roll.
Oh, sorry. Tough plus your roll. My apologies.
Is that also?
Car.
Mine's weird, right? Because it's magic?
Yes, you're using your drain life ability, correct.
Excuse me. I'm going to be using my last luck on this one.
Oh,
As
okay.
will I. Who gave us the luck from the chat?
I don't remember.
Emily, but she's gone to bed.
Okay.
Emily,
Well-
thank you. When you watch the rest of this tomorrow, your luck went to good use.
We hope.
Okay. So that is 2 successes then. So that turns a 7, a mixed success into a full success. That turns a failure into a full success as well. And what did Ardent, you didn't want to get up in personal?
I did, but I'm gonna take the failure because I'm gonna save my 1 reroll.
Okay.
I'm rolling like crap tonight.
It's a general consensus. Most of us are.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna say that it is. How much harm does your knife do? Your blessed knife.
My blessed knife does 2 harm, and it's considered holy.
Okay. So as you stab your holy knife in to this thing, the crack in it widens some more, light leaks out, and again you just hear this like, ah!
Oh, that just sounds like music. It does.
So you heard it finally?
So as you take the burlap sack and you're trying to like pull the head off, you're not able to pull the head off, but you are able to pull it off of Roxy. So you didn't harm it, but you have disengaged it from Roxy.
I'm not trying to do any harm. I'm trying to prevent Roxy from getting pushed into the ground.
Perfect. So, one of the things
I've got it, Professor. I've got it.
So when basic moves, when a magic goes wrong, as you have failed it, tell me about your life drain. You were trying to describe to me what you were trying to do.
I was trying to remove some of the spirit from the pumpkin so that it was like swooped out. Like when you spill a pumpkin gut. But imagine that when it's the spirit.
So as you're trying to like life drain the pumpkin, you think, you reach out and you do this, but at the same time, TBD is pulling back. Your hand misses the pumpkin and instead wraps around TBD, and something about his psychic energy in that moment, the fact that he is like he can see this creature, he's in another plane, his energy is just vibrating, and you can just feel it get sucked into you, and you're going to actually life drain some of your companion here.
Sorry, I'm just fucking over TBD today apparently with the one roll in the beginning.
So how much harm is that?
It's 1 ignore armor base.
Okay, yep. So 1 harm is going to go to Ardent, or TBD. TBD, you don't have a way to protect against that. You feel suddenly like your grip on the burlap that's pulling it off of is suddenly, it's going to go slack. Like your fingers go a little numb. So suddenly you've pulled it off, but you've lost your leverage. What is Roxy going to do? Roxy, you're on your back. You see your friends come in with a knife and stab a pumpkin head, and then you see it get pulled off you. You feel these like claws come out of your shoulders, the pain of them being extracted, but suddenly you don't have this crushing weight on your chest anymore. And you see there's like a weird kind of flash of light maybe into Ardent, and you see the TBD, did you say anything when you released the burlap? Was there any cry as this happened?
Professor Arden, why?
I'm sorry, I was trying to grab it, but clumsy, everybody's moving, we're all dying. Sorry.
Roxy, you are a military.
Excuse me.
You are a military individual, and this is Fubard. This is effed up beyond recognition. This is not good. You know that there is no like teamwork, there's no order, there's no.
It's a shame I can't do 2 things in a turn, because on the one hand I want to shoot the bastard thing, on the other hand you're right, the situation is Fubar. Can I start barking orders out to the others to try and get them under control and stop panicking? And
Totally.
I'm also, I should note, I am unstable right now. I am at 4 out of 7. So, does that have any effect on me right now that I have to worry about?
At this moment, no, because this is happening within seconds, but you are wounded enough that if you don't get medical aid soon, it is not good. Right? So basically what's happened is that these claws in your shoulder, as they come out, they've left holes. You know that you are bleeding. It wasn't an artery or anything like that, but you know that if you don't get the situation figured out quickly, like you will start to feel faint. You could eventually pass out. Or, the damage can be quite serious. You can feel your shoulders, like the adrenaline's pumping and it's going through you and you're still able to use them, but you know that like if the adrenaline wears off, you're going to lose the ability to move your shoulders. Like it's going to be too painful.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think my priority is to get the others under control, so to speak, and just get them to stop panicking and actually kind of work together on taking this thing down rather than doing their own individual things. So she starts yelling, "Focus! Focus! One of each of you needs to... Professor, keep it off balance. TPD, you need to try and flank it from behind. And don't use your bloody witchcraft unless you've got a solid lock. You could hurt the others with that. Make sure you..."
Well, correction, I did, and it's not witchcraft.
I don't care what it is. I'm in too fucking much pain to care whether it's witchcraft or sorcery or whatever. Just be careful. See if you can...
So I will let you roll help out.
Yep.
For that. But you have to decide who you are aiding. Who did you give the most direct, concise directions to?
I feel like it would be TBD, with the flank it from behind comment.
Perfect. So roll me a help out, which is going to be your cool, because you kept your cool with this. 8. Okay, mixed success. So you grant a +1 to the roll, but you also expose yourself to trouble or danger. So you are still prone on the ground as you're telling everyone what to do. You haven't pulled out a weapon, but you've shouted orders. So TBD, you get a +1 to your next roll. All right. So as this happens, I'm going to say that this scarecrow has been you tried to basically garrot it, right? With this.
I did, yeah.
Yeah. So, but your hand slips and it comes off and it wheels around and there's this weird kind of ungangliness to it. TBD, you can see this spirit superimposed on it, and the spirit is there's anguish in its eyes, but also there's moments of flaring of the spirit's power kind of pulsating, and you can see the tendrils in the ground. They're actually pulsating up into this. This creature is then going to turn as you were talking about using your spirit drain, and then it's going to lunge for Ardent, and it's just going to come in, and please, if this is an issue, please use your safety tools, but it's going to come in and basically the pumpkin's going to try and mouth to mouth you.
It's fine.
Okay. This pumpkin comes in, suddenly your nose is pressed flat to it, and it is going to try and it is going to you feel this spiritual power pressing into you, and it is going to attempt to enter your body. Okay? Mm-hmm. So that is what's going to happen. What's everyone doing? Quick, knee-jerk reactions.
Stabby. It worked last time.
Stabby, kick some ass.
I'm gonna draw the pistol at this point and start trying to fire a few rounds.
Kick some ass.
I'm reading what I'm doing.
Ian, broken... Go ahead, Ardent.
I can't hear TBD, unfortunattunately.
Ardent said something. Go ahead, Ardent.
No, I'm reading what I can
can't
do.
hear you.
Okay, I'm gonna wrap the remnants of the juju bag around my fist. Kind of like some cloth brass knuckles. And with the crack in the pumpkin and the blue energy emanating from it, and it trying to enter into Arden, I'm going to try and enter my fist into the head of the crack, wrapped in the Juju Bag brass knuckles.
Okay. What was? Tell me again, Roxy. What were your kicks some ass? Was just to shoot it, right?
Yeah, she's drawing her 9mm from and kind of taking somewhat shaky aim, but she's firing off a couple rounds, which is definitely a noisy weapon if they hadn't already made enough noise with this bloody pumpkin spirit. So someone is definitely going to hear gunshots.
Indeed, yeah.
That doesn't sound suspicious with us going with Grandpa. Yeah.
Put him out to pasture.
So there's the sound of firearms going off in this corn maze as this happens. And what is your damage inflicted?
It's 2 harm with the 9mm.
Okay. You shoot, and one of them goes into the pumpkin head, and one of them seems to go into like the corporeal, like the plaid shirt part, and you don't think that was as effective. I'm gonna say that like 2 harm is 2 bullets, basically. Stabby from the professor was an 11, and what is is 2 harm? No.
2 harm.
2 harm, okay. Again, holes are starting to appear in this pumpkin head, and light is filling out. You see cracks forming between the pumpkin heads. TBD, you had an 8.
I was attempting to punch in one of the cracks in the head.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm not sure if that would do any harm, but
so you do indeed. You have mixed success. So you do harm this thing. You see the cracks are just about forming. You feel like there's almost a hole. You can there's an indent, a dent into this pumpkin where your fist hit, but it didn't go right through. But as you did that, you pushed this thing even further, because it's face to face with Ardent here. So suddenly, Ardent, you are unromantically toppled by this scarecrow thing, lips to lips with you, and you feel this howling wind trying to spiritually dive into you.
Mm-hmm. Feeling cold is novel for Ardent. He doesn't feel cold very often. So this is an old new experience. Do I get to make a move action this turn or anything or no?
Yeah, you get to go. Yep.
I want to try to life drain it. I was told specifically not to do that, but now I am on the ground, and if I die, Roxy can't tell me what to do anyway.
You're already dead.
If I die again, if I become alive minus as instead of alive plus.
Okay.
2 deaths
roll for
doesn't
me.
make it alive.
Okay. So you are attempting to life drain it. As you feel this howling wind get sucked into you, or trying to push into you, you turn around and you suck it in. And in doing so, you feel this go from pressure to suddenly you've created a vacuum. And the rest of you see this light from this pumpkin flicker suddenly, and you just hear this no. And the light in this pumpkin head is going to go out, and then as soon as it goes out, the head falls off and rolls to the ground. The sticks tumble over, and this silence just goes across the entire area. There is not a sound to be heard other than perhaps your heavy breathing. You can swear you can almost still hear the gunshots echoing in your ears. It's just so silent for a moment.
Does the light go into Ardent?
Yep.
Professor, stab Ardent.
Just because I hurt you. That was a mistake. And honestly,
possessed.
It's actually not a mistake.
Professor, the light went into Ardent.
Because I sucked it out. They called me the Hoover. Hoover. Get it?
Can I see the blue tendrils going into the ground, coming into Ardent?
No. You do not see any other lights at this moment. The spiritual light that you saw is gone. The world seems dark compared to what it was.
I go up and brandish
Can
my
you
magic
control it?
knife at Ardent. Are you okay? What's my favorite beverage?
Tea?
What kind?
You normally just let me choose what to make ya.
She seems all right to me.
I need
I'm gonna
Ardent.
see if there's anything under the ground.
Oh,
I'm gonna
no.
begin digging at that spot where I saw the tendrils going into the urn.
I do not like where this is going.
I like where it's going.
I need Ardent to please roll me an act under pressure as you feel inside yourself this like turmoil.
Under pressure. Is that sharp, I believe? Or is that cool?
I believe so. Doot, doot, doot.
Where is it?
Act under pressure is a cool, please.
I'm going to use... Well, actually, I'll ask the party. Do you want me to fail the roll, or do you want me to use my last, luck? It depends what you want story-wise, I guess.
You do you.
I'm
I will
fine
stab
either
you.
way. Yeah.
I'm on
Yeah.
the ground bleeding out. I have no say in this.
Mm-hmm. Do
Right.
you have a
We still gotta
preference?
heal.
Because, where it's midnight, do you have a preference on how this goes?
I do not, but yes, I was about to wrap this up. So
Yeah.
it is entirely up to you. If you wish to use your... Here's what I'm going to tell you. The act under pressure roll was because you feel this power inside of you. And you can either choose in this moment to attempt to ingest it, to take it into yourself, and to just make it energy that you use. Or you feel like you could maybe house it inside yourself for another time. For like, it would be like almost like a nitrous boost that you could
I'll
use.
the nitrous boost, because what could go wrong?
Right? What could possibly go wrong?
Seems fine
As you
to
are
me.
now, another spirit is embodied at this time inside of you, contained, perhaps. Okay.
I'm gonna run over and try to heal Roxy. I got bandages in here.
I think it would go without saying that Roxy would probably have a first aid kit of some kind. Can she actually do self first aid using
You
medic?
can definitely tell me what to do if nothing else.
Yep, you can spend time doing that. So for the sake, because it is midnight and this has been super, super fun here, I'm going to give you a quick synopsis and then you can tell me what your characters would do in this time. We're not going to worry so much about the fallout, but here's what's going to happen. You are digging into the ground where this spirit was. At this time, as you're digging into the ground and the gravel and dirt gets under your fingers, you have this sense that like there's something underneath there, but that you can't, like, you're not going to be able to get there. Like something tells you like there's more to this. You get this sixth sense, this like thought. You can just see that there's something under there. You get a sense that there's something under there, but you get the sense it's not the problem. It's an answer, but it's not a problem. There is a gunshot sound that went off. You're in the middle of a maze, in the middle of a field at this time. The sheriff will eventually get called out because you shot something off. You can either choose to flee or choose to deal with the sheriff. Maybe talk your way out of this one.
Well, I think we can talk our way out. I'll just say it was part of my bucket list. It's already established that I wanted to shoot
It was
up
a
into
wild
the sky.
animal.
Yeah, it's a wild.
That works too.
That's a wild animal.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
That works.
I thought you were going to be like, the scarecrow scared us.
Well, it is destroyed.
It is destroyed, and there is a bullet hole in the shirt. So the sheriff gives you a warning
It was a
that
raccoon
you are not
idiot.
welcome in town anymore, that you do have a license for your firearm, but if they ever see you in town again or causing any problems, like they will file charges of like mishandling firearms, endangering the public kind of thing. Something like this. I don't know laws. So you're basically told, like, leave town now. The Guzmans are never seen again. Vanessa is scared witless of the random people who went into the field and shot guns at night. And she... Oh. Just one gun?
Yeah, it was
You're
just
muted.
Just one gun.
Oh, now I can hear you. Yep.
Just one gun. It wasn't a lot of guns.
It was only two little pops. Pop, pop.
Yeah. And Ardent, you now have another spirit inside of you, which was something that I would definitely carry over. I also, I didn't get to use my -2 to Roxy. However, I will not be mean and make you fail the manipulation, because otherwise I'd have Roxy locked up for like 48 hours or something in this tiny little jail cell. But I would carry that over if this was a campaign, and absolutely
Well,
make it
there's
so that
always
you.
next year.
Yeah, your name is now on a file somewhere. The higher ups are not happy about it. You're going to have some paperwork about this one.
I didn't use any luck. I didn't cause any. I shouldn't have had to cause red tape. Damn it. Oh well. I'll take but I'll take it regardless, because consequences, yeah.
And so eventually, if you want, you could, if this was a campaign, I'd have you research into it a bit more. But basically, there was an individual, maybe they were a cultist, maybe they were a witch, but they died a long time ago and were buried in a shallow grave that was long forgotten. The town kind of did them off because, and it's something no one ever talks about. And eventually, over time, the pumpkin patch grew over the grave. And the spirit was able to infect one pumpkin a year, and for 7 years was trying to gather enough energy to become corporeal again. So this would have been the year, the last victim, they would have been corporeal again and been able to walk the earth.
It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
Was it Erica that was buried in the shallow grave, or what happened to Erica?
Erica was first.
No. So
she was the first victim.
Yeah, so what the scarecrow does is like literally pushes you into the ground so they can like slowly leech the energy from you.
So you would find
Erica was the
bones
first
if you kept digging, which would be an answer to a question.
You would eventually find 6 bodies somehow put into the ground here in such a way that they're not like there's no, they're magically, you were being magically like pushed into the earth.
Yay!
Yeah. So that is Monster of the Week. That is...
It's a great system. I'm enjoying it.
Really good.
Pumpkin spice for basic witches. And I had a blast. If this was a longer campaign, we would check off things at the end of the session. You get experience points for things. So did we conclude the current mystery? Cha-ching. Did we save someone from certain death or worse?
Cha-ching.
Okay. Did we learn something new and important about the world? Not so much.
Not for us.
Did you learn something new and important about one of the hunters?
Not really.
No.
Yeah.
No,
So
Arden's touch hurts.
we don't know that Ardent is part possessed.
No, I didn't say anything. Why would I tell you guys that? You guys were about to stab me.
You're already on my list.
Better check it twice.
Yeah.
So because you can mark 1 to 2 of these as yes, you would each be able to mark 1 experience, and eventually you upgrade your characters so that they have advanced rules, which is pretty cool. So on 12s, you get to do some more fun stuff. Eventually, if I don't kill your characters, they would be retired to be someone that can be referred to, or I kill them off and they become a monster that I get to fight. You get to fight your own character in later dates and stuff like that.
Ooh, can I be the creepy ghost in the librarian, like from Ghostbusters?
Yeah, creepy ghost like a librarian. I can't wait for Arden to continue this character and fail some of these act under pressures as a spirit wars to take over your body.
Yes, of course. Well,
Yeah.
Seems like a Wednesday.
Arden came back by accident. This ghost must be fucking pissed because they've been working so hard, and Arden doesn't even want to be here.
Yeah. This is like
you're
this
not
is
from around.
perfect.
You don't have to work at a coffee shop and deal with people getting mad at you for putting in the wrong milk because there's 20 milks and you actually put in the right milk, but they don't know what they're talking about. You want to do that? I'll be my guest.
I have to admit, if I came back as undead, there was no way you're going to get me working a minimum wage job. No wonder, like, the undead want to take over the world all the time. They're like, no, I was sick of this before.
We're going to make it better. We're going to do a new system.
Or worse.
All right,
Thank
to
you
sign
for running
off,
the game, Queen Mother.
thank you so much for playing. I want to say thank you to the players. I want to say thank you to the Vactaire for inviting me. I had an absolute blast. If it's okay to just quickly do shoutouts for everyone, you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, because I'm that old. I'm the Queen Mother GM, and you can book me on startplaying.games because that is where you find me. I do virtual, and I am from Canada, and I didn't say sorry even once tonight, so I am very happy with myself.
You did. You said sorry.
Oh,
Quite a
oh
few
no!
times. Mainly at the start.
Okay, that's good for me. Just one's not bad. So,
Was it experience every time you say sorry?
We need like a sorry jar.
yeah, I think, yeah, you get a hero point in my Pathfinder games. Anyone else want to give shout outs to where you can find you, or are we good?
I'm the Plush Viking. That's it. You'll find me in most places that way, or just Plush Viking here on Twitch. I do nerd stuff. I build stuff from other stuff. I'm not important. Don't worry about it. Carry on.
Good food content.
My name is Matt, also known as Grape Ape. I run the Rules as Written show and the Reaver Express on the Goodman Games Twitch channel. You can find me there. Otherwise, you can find me hanging out on the Dungeon Crawler server on Discord.
That's where I've seen you.
Yeah, I moderate that server, and we play all kinds of games online there.
I'm Maggie. I'm also known as Holloweyes. I mostly hang out here. I'm in the Monday game, Mistwalkers, which is a Domains of Dreads 5e game, and I'm also in Fixius 5, which is a homebrew game, also 5e. And I also make appearances sometimes here as well, doing other things. You can catch me on the 29th here. I will be running the Darkest House, and Grape Ape will be there as well.
Will
Awesome.
be.
And that just leaves me. I'm Sophia. I go by Rockchick Sophia on all the socials and on the Vactaire. And I am the GM of A Song of Crystal and Shadow, which is our 5e and Final Fantasy XIV crossover. Now it's in its second season. And I'm the general tech. Well, no, that's technically Agni, but I'm also one of the tech people here who helps you run your streams and stuff when the others can't. So, yeah, don't forget to donate to Extra Life. Yeah, I know something went weird with Discord. I don't know what it is, but everyone changed positions suddenly, and I don't know what the fuck it was.
I wanted to be TBD because that would be fun.
I'm not changing it because we're about to sign off, but yeah, don't forget to donate to Extra Life.
I closed Roll20. That might have done it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think so.
The L for that is tinyl.com/Vactaire Extra Life 2023. We are going to be raiding Blue Cottage D&D. Either Artemis or Affy are in control of the admin account and can do that right now. I think it's Artemis. So we will see you tomorrow for... Yeah, this will blame Agni. We will see you tomorrow for my game with Song Crystal and Shadow. My Chaos Beams are going to go find two of the numbers that they've gone missing. Or I say missing. They've gone to go to another location because void reasons. Bloody timey-wimey bullshit. And yeah, and then Friday it's Fixius 5. So we will see you hopefully tomorrow, Friday, whenever, and yeah. So
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Thanks.
This was really fun. Thank you.